The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Remember the funny faces. That time you told them that you were gonna be marrying soon. And yet, I thought the only lonely place was on the moon. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jet! Was your father as bold as a sergeant major? Well, how come he told you that you were hardly old enough yet? And yet, I thought the major was a lady suffragette. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. I made time. Want Jet to always love me. I made time. Want Jet to always love me. I made time. Much later. Oh! Jet! And Jets, I thought the major was a little lady suffragette. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. I made time. Want Jet to always love me. I made time. Want Jet to always love me. I made time. Much later. She said. She said. What she said? Jet! With the wind in your hair of 1,000 laces. Climb on the back and we'll go for a ride in the sky. And Jet, I thought that the major was a little lady suffragette. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. And yet, you know I thought you was a little lady suffragette. Jet! Ooh, ooh, ooh. A little lady. My little lady, yes.
Oh. There we go. And then it finishes with instruments, so you don't hear him say anything. Good evening, dear listener. A slow, gentle start to the show, I would say. You all right, Catherine?
Yeah.
There we
got
go.
my headphones on the wrong way round.
Well, that will explain why you're hearing the end of the show first, you silly sausage. This is the Late Night Alternative. I'm Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle is there. We have Jay Foreman with us this evening. Good evening,
Hello,
Jay.
Iain Lee. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you. We've been talking for the last 15 minutes. Comedian, performer, writer, musician, all of these kinds of things. There's a reason you're here, but we're in the middle of quite a geeky Beatles chat. Is that all right, Kath?
Oh, yeah.
And
I'll just go to my happy place.
If you want to phone in and chat Beatles with us, 0344 499 1000. There is kind of a reason to why Jay is here, and we will get to that in a minute. Oh, we're going to ask for some money off you as well. I hope you don't mind, dear listener. There is a great cause. doesn't that sound cheesy? But there is actually a great cause, and there is a great way to donate money towards this great cause. We will get to that in a second. Have your phones and tablets and computers ready? Not much, a few quid, and you can pledge. What were we just talking about, Jay?
We were talking about the Beatles in some way.
In some way, but I can't remember what it was, and it seemed so important at the time.
Right, OK, so you were talking about Denny Lane, and then you moved on. First of all, you're talking about 15 minutes of the Beatles waiting to do their actual job and being hilarious.
OK, I've got it. Time out.
You're in.
Time out.
OK.
So Tim Heidecker does this spoof cop show called Decca, where he gets kind of 60s and 70s pop stars to have minor roles in it. He's had a couple of the Beach Boys in it. And he had Denny Lane in an episode. Denny Lane from...
The Denny Lane?
The Denny Lane. But in the trailer for it, it was billed as... in tiny letters from huge letters... Paul McCartney, tiny letters and wings, Denny Lane.
You see, Denny Lane should have known that was going to happen as soon as he decided to join a band that had Paul McCartney in it. He knew that was going to happen for the rest of his life.
We had Denny Lane on the show, and a lovely man,
yeah.
A really, really nice guy. And I said to him, thinking the answer would be, yeah, he did it all the time. I said, did Paul ever, during those 10 years you were in Wings, did Paul ever just sit at the piano and go, Denny Lane? And he went, oh, no, you never did that. I never thought of that, actually. You never thought that your name, Denny Lane, sounds exactly like Penny Lane?
I would have thought that's how he got the job.
You would think so, wouldn't it? You tell us why you are here, what it is you are doing. 'Cause you're doing a thing with Mark Watson.
I am.
I love Mark Watson. I think he's one of this country's funniest people. I think he's
great,
wonderful,
isn't he? So Mark Watson, every few years or so, he does his marathon show where he will do, this year it's 26.2 hours straight comedy.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this for years, and what he does every time he does this show is he asks comedians to come forward and attempt some sort of record-breaking thing, some sort of marathon thing.
Right.
So there's a comedian this year who's attempting to teach himself French in 24 hours. And I've decided to volunteer my services. I'm going to be setting myself a challenge this year in one day to play on the guitar and sing every Beatles song ever.
From memory. You're not doing the book. You've not got the book.
No chord books, no lyric sheets, all just my memory.
You're doing... Now, listen, you can bid on songs. Me and Catherine have bought a song for you, dear listener. We have bought Revolution No. 9.
I knew somebody would.
Well, we had to. I mean, we had to. We played that on air.
Really?
Yeah, we played it, and we added stuff on top of it. Imagine.
Did anybody notice?
No, I don't think they did. No one listens. It'll be great if... listen, you can go on and if you want to bid a lot... What is the charity, first of all? Let's get that.
The charity is Dementia Revolution.
Okay.
And is a combination of two dementia charities who are joining forces, and they are one of the sponsors for the London Marathon this year.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. And I know that you have personal... As most people do, unfortunately, these days, you've got personal...
Most people do, yeah. It was my grandpa had Alzheimer's for the last 10 years of his life, and it was really hard for the whole family, especially for my grandma. So it's a cause quite close to my heart. So I'm glad to be able to raise money for it.
Yeah, and it is, it's not a rarity, unfortunately. My granddad had it. I'm sure most of the listeners, it will have cropped up somewhere in their life. People can go and buy or bid on Beatles songs for you to perform on the day.
Yes, so on my website there is a list of all 186 Beatles songs in alphabetical order, and next to it you can click and put your name.
So the website is Jay Foreman, Jay Foreman, FOREMAN.co.uk, jayforeman.co.uk. You click on there, there's a list of the songs. Here's some of the songs we've got available. Birthday is available.
No one's taken birthday?
No one's taken birthday. I mean, whenever people say the Beatles never did a bad song, I point them to Blue Jay Way.
I once did a podcast where I had to try and choose what was my least favourite Beatles song.
Yeah.
The three of us were arguing which is the worst song.
Go on.
I nominated Don't Pass Me By.
Oh, no.
Because, so Ringo only wrote 2 songs on his own for the whole Beatles career. Octopus's Garden, lots of people love. I suspect that he had a lot of help for George on that one. I think George might have been responsible for everything that made that song palatable.
Oh, if you watch Let It Be, you see George pretty much writing it for him.
Yeah, and because George is such a nice guy, he doesn't want to swoop in there and get credit because, he's got enough money. But the only time Ringo actually did a song all on his own, it was Don't Pass Me By. I've talked about this before, but basically, this is the one opportunity he has to give himself a fantastic drum part, a drum solo even. Yeah. And it sounds like a drum kit falling down the stairs. Yeah. And there's no guitars, which is unusual for a Beatles song. And have you ever listened to and really thought about the lyrics of Don't Pass Me By?
You were in a car crash and you lost your hair.
Yeah, that's going to take some explaining.
But also, what's great about Don't Pass Me By is I think it came out on the White Album, which was 68, and there is an interview from 1964 where Ringo's saying, well, I'm writing a song called Don't Pass Me By, and I think it's going to be great. It took him 4 years to write You Were in a Car Crash and You Lost Your Hair.
I like to imagine that he wrote it sort of one line at a time. He was doing it in chronological order. He got as far as the first line in 1964, finally finished it in time for the White Album.
There are some great songs still available. Cry Baby, Cry. Dear Prudence. I mean, these are masterpieces.
I should stress that if your favourite song has gone, you can still sponsor without picking a song.
Oh, can you?
Oh, yes.
Well, hang on a minute. Pick a song you like. Just because your favourite one's gone, I don't know, pick your second favourite song, guys.
I'm hoping...
You're trying to do this so that you don't get all of the songs covered and you can finish in 45 minutes.
Well, I have to play all 186 songs, whether they're sponsored or not.
Uh-oh.
But if they are sponsored, it means that before I start playing, I go, and this one here is sponsored by... I look down at my sheet and say, Iain Lee, and then I sing the song.
Ray has called in. Let's see what Ray's got for us. Good evening, Ray.
Good evening. I'm so glad you've got Jay on your show because
he owes you money.
I watch his YouTube channel, which is fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Ray.
He does this song where he names all the tube stations on the Underground network, and it's terrific.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, Ray. Yeah, I've got a song where I sing every tube station. Forgot to mention that. I seem to have this thing about completing lists.
That should have been your opening gambit. By the way, before we talk about the Beatles, you know my tube station song? That really is.
So what I'm noticing about you, Jay, is that you really like remembering stuff.
That's the theme I seem to be setting, yeah. I'm going to trap myself, and the next thing I do is also going to have to be a feat of memory.
Okay, so you're a fan of Jay's,
yeah.
Ray? Oh,
yes.
Okay, yeah. Anything else you want to...
Well, okay. I mean, an easier song for him to do, if not that, is Bim Bim Bim.
What's Bim Bim Bim?
This is one of the songs from my comedy set, because I sing funny songs, and Bim 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 is an original composition. It's only about 30 seconds.
Can we hear it? You have a guitar here by coincidence.
I thought I was going to play Beatles songs, but here is a rendition of my song called Bim Bim Bim.
Here we go.
Bim 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 bim. Second verse, same as the first. Bim 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 bim. Third verse, same as the first and the second. Bim 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 bim.
Thanks for this, Ray.
Bim 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 bim. Fourth verse, similar to the first, second, and third. Bim 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 bom. Bim 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 bom. Bim 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 bom. Fifth verse, completely different from the first, second, third, and fourth. And then I held her in my arms for the last time. Sixth verse, same as the first, second, and third. Bim 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 bim. The end.
Fantastic.
You're listening to Talk Radio UK.
Thank you very much, Ray. I made the mistake. Jay Foreman is here with us. jforeman.co.uk if you want to go and bid on those Beatles songs. And it can be, look, if you've got a lot of money, put a lot of money in. If you've got a few quid, just put a few quid in. I'm guessing a few quid is okay. If
anything's okay. You can put pennies in if you like.
Oh, don't put pennies in. Put a minimum of maybe 200 penny. But go on then. If you see a song, just put a few quid in. I made the mistake at the start of that rather silly song of making eye contact with you and then having to keep that eye contact for the whole thing. I didn't want to break it because I didn't want to let you down. I didn't want to let me down. I have put off live in concert. I've had dirty looks from both Prince and Neil Diamond.
Oh, really? Who made you feel the worst?
Oh, Diamond did. Diamond crushed me. Because I was very... The Prince was... I was like in the fourth row for a Prince concert at the O2. Diamond, I accepted an invitation I've never accepted before or since. I went to one of those an audience with at ITV. And I was in the second row and Neil Diamond singing Cracklin' Rosie. And I start blasting out Cracklin' Rosie. And he looks at me as if to say, shut up. I am singing this. I am Neil Diamond. When is this... So when is this whole extravaganza happening?
The event starts on the 27th of February in the Pleasance, London, but because it's a 24-hour event, my bit doesn't start until the 28th in the morning.
Oh.
And my aim is to finish all 186 Beatles songs before the show finishes at 9 p.m. on the 28th.
Oh, OK, right. I was going to say, if we were on air, we'd nip in and have some of it. Right, OK. I'm just... Can I... I don't know how to do this, right? Because you've got to have to earn your keep. How... I was going I'm going to ask the question that popped in my head, even though it's rude.
I'm looking forward to this.
How good are you? I'm just going to... Can I just throw, like, a title at you?
Please do, yeah.
And you go for it, and then when we get bored... Can Kath then throw a title at you, and then you can we do that?
We can do this as long as you like. I mean, if I'm going to be trained up for this exercise, I'm supposed to know every single Beatles songs, all the lyrics, all the little twiddly bits on the guitar. So I'm ready if you are.
Okay, you got a good list of Beatles songs.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Okay.
Throw one at him.
Don't let me down.
Nobody ever loved me like she do. Ooh, she does me. Yes, she does.
Dr. Robert.
Be my friend, I said.
Oh, this is the most fun!
Ain't all night, he'll be there anytime at all, Dr. Robert.
And your bird can sing.
Doctor, tell me that you got everything you want. And your bird can sing, but you don't get me.
Can we keep him?
This is the whole show.
You don't get me.
Julia.
Julia.
Oh, he's good.
Sleeping something.
Sleeping something?
Ocean child calls me. So
God.
Back in the USSR.
Been around for something from the OAC. Didn't get to bed last night.
I don't know why it's so
funny.
funny.
The way the paper bag was on my... Have you ever seen, by the way, there's a trick I do in my live show where I get the audience to shout out a song. And I sing it where the syllables are delayed by one. So I'll just explain this.
This
Basically,
is insane.
This is a trick I do in my live set where I'll give you an example. You know the song that goes, do, a deer, a female deer, Ray. So if I sing that song, but I start singing it, one syllable delayed behind the tune, it sounds like this.
Here we go.
Do, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden. Son, me a name I call myself, far a long, long way to.
Oh, God.
And so on and so on. But the challenge is if I can do that to any song you throw at me. So we might as well try a Beatles song.
Paperback writer, please.
Dear Sora, madam, will you read my book? It to me is to write, will you take a...
Sounds like me playing now.
It hurts my head.
Thank you.
It really hurts.
So I've got to avoid the temptation to do that syllables trick when I'm trying to be serious and raise money for charity.
So you're going to do all of the songs. We're going to let you have a break for a sec, just for a second. You're going to do all of the Beatles songs. How many is it?
186. I got that number from... Have you ever seen a book called Revolution in the Head?
Oh, yes.
It's a great book, isn't it? So it is a list of every Beatles song ever recorded, and it's helpfully numbered 1 to 186 in the order that they were recorded. And that's the order I'll be playing it in, by the way.
So you're not doing it alphabetical?
No, I'm not.
Okay, and you're not doing bootlegs?
Nope.
So no shouting out Commonwealth or What a Shame, Mary Jane, none of that?
None of that, no. Nothing from the anthology, nothing, no covers either, which is actually a pity, because it means I don't get to do Twist and Shout, or Money, that's what I want. So
That's your encore?
Well, if I've still got the fingers for it, if my fingers aren't bleeding and my throat hasn't jumped out of my mouth, then yeah, I'll be happy to do an encore.
Jay, let's have a little break and then we'll come back. Go and get pen and paper, dear listener, because honestly, this is I don't know why I find this so funny, but it's just it's wonderful. If you want to phone up and have a word with Jay, you're very welcome to 0344 499 1000. He is working this evening. He is, we are making him sweat. Me and Kath have chucked in a few quid. It's got to be worth it. It's for dementia, Alzheimer charities. I will give the link to go to his page, so you can pledge on a song if you want. I'll do that in a second. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yeah.
I've been lifting it.
You keep it down, we can hear it. It's all good. We've got Jay Foreman with us, comedian, performer, singer, songwriter. Rememberer. Mm-hmm. We were trying to... I nearly remembered the name of the remembering guy, Dominic.
Yes.
Somebody. Do you remember the remembering guy?
Mr. Memory.
So he used to go on TV and flip a pack of cards and then recite it back.
Yes. We were talking about him. He's quite tall, had a moustache. And we couldn't remember his name the other day. And
How ironic.
I know. And we try and avoid Googling stuff on this show.
And I have emailed him in the past.
Did he remember to reply?
No, he replied and said, no, thank you.
He said, get knotted. I'm more than just memory. I can name colours as well. No one asked me for my colour act. No one asks for that. So Jay is doing a performance as part of Mark Watson. Tell me the full name of the
Mark
Watson
Watson's 26.2-hour comedy marathon.
Jesus, that guy's insane.
He's done this loads of times. He used to do, at the Edinburgh Fringe, he'd do a 24-hour show. And despite the fact that would ruin him every time, he's now decided to do it regularly, and this time for it to be 26.2 hours. Apparently because that makes it more like a marathon.
More like a marathon. I love Mark Watson so much. Partly because I was going through a bit of a tough time recently, and I don't know him. I've met him a couple of times, like years ago, and he just sent me a little DM on Twitter saying, "Hang in there, man. It'll be all right," which I thought was wonderful in this horrible, vacuous business. I don't know why I've gone all camp tonight, but I'm enjoying it. I'm sticking with it. I think this could be the new me. But also, he's funny, man.
He's great.
He's so funny. He's just brilliant. He does this wonderful show on Radio 4. Is he still doing that? They always seem to play the show on Radio 4, and I don't know if they're new or old.
If it's not on Radio 4, it's bound to be on Radio 4 Extra.
Yeah, they're always playing it, and I haven't seen him do stand-up, actually, probably, God, for maybe 10, 12 years, but he's just funny. So he's doing that. Are there tickets still available for that, people?
Oh, I don't know, but if you go to the website for The Pleasance, which is pleasance.co.uk, then they should let you know. And most of the people that attend these shows, they go every year, they go every time, because it's not so much a comedy show as like a cult thing.
And do they stay for the whole thing, or do they do it in shifts?
You're allowed to leave, but not for more than an hour, otherwise they'll give your ticket to someone else. Apparently most people that turn up to those shows, they do stay for the whole thing. Wow. They bring, packed lunches and sleeping bags.
And wear nappies. So you can go for an hour, you can go out for an hour and come back in having eaten something else.
Here's the thing, though. If you're in there for like 5 hours, and stay there, Dredge, we'll come to you in a second. You'll like Dredge, he's a nice guy. But you stay there for like 4 or 5 hours, and so you're getting a little bit high from it. It's becomes a slightly psychedelic experience because you're immersed in this thing. And then you go out in the real world for like an hour. I don't know if I'd want to go back in because I'd feel a bit dirty.
That's one of the reasons I'm there. If people get bored of what's happening on the main stage, they can pop to the room round the corner where I'm going to be doing my Beatles thing for approximately 9.5 hours.
Approximately.
And I'm hoping that when people come to watch me for a bit, they'll be joining in and singing along, harmonising.
Oh, I see. You're relying on the audience to fill in the blanks.
How are you going to adapt to normal society after that?
I don't know. I think by the end of it, my worry is that after 9.5 hours, I'm going to be sick of the Beatles. I've never been that before, but I might be after that.
If you want to sponsor a song, pledge a song, buy a song, whatever you want to call it, if you go to Jay Foreman, Jay Foreman, FOREMAN.co.uk, and it explains everything, and then you just scroll down, and there's a list of songs that are available. For example, A Lot of the Eyes, I'll Get You, I'm a Loser, I'm down, I'm happy just to dance with you. They're available. You then go back up to the top and click on the Virgin Money Giving thing and donate, and it's for Alzheimer's and dementia charities. It's all in good cause. It's all legit, guys, is what I'm trying to say. He is legit. He will do this. The money will go somewhere good.
Thanks, guys. You're doing my job for me.
It's a pleasure, man. Honestly, you're going to work hard in a second. Dredge, you're through to Jay.
So you're doing all these songs just on an acoustic guitar?
That's right. It's going to be just me and a guitar, and probably the audience joining in and clapping.
Dredge sounds disappointed.
What do you want him to do? One-man band?
I've got a prediction of the question you're about to ask me.
How are you going to do the end of Day in the Life?
Oh, he was holding up 9 fingers for Revolution number 9. Our song, Catherine. It will forever be our song, darling.
Well,
can you play the end of Day in the Life?
Do you mean the bit that goes, is it never could see any other one? That one?
No, you know the bit that goes...
You know Day in the Life.
Oh, you mean the really long note that goes...
Yeah, I was...
No, keep quiet. Shush.
That. Quiet, please. Not that bit.
Well, hang on. So you don't mean the long note at the end. You don't mean the
orchestral
orgasm.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Oh, you mean that bit? Okay. Let me work it out. So.
Love to tell
yeah, that's it.
You
that's it.
That's as close as I can get because I haven't got an orchestra. Will that do?
That will do.
You do sound disappointed. It's got to be honest, Dredge. You sound disappointed. Yes, he didn't go up for the count of 21 or however long it is. I was going to be Mal Evans there going 1, 2. But come on, man. He's doing his best.
Yeah, you're doing very well. Very, 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 very well.
What do you want, Dredge? What more do you want from the man? He's remembering hundreds of songs.
I know. It's incredible. It's brilliant, yeah.
Quick, Dredge, just say a song off the top of your head, see if you can play it.
Okay, the worst Beatles song, Don't Bother Me.
Since she's been gone, I want no one to talk to me. There's not to blame, it's just the same, it's plain to see. I wanna leave me alone, don't bother me. I know, well, what's that?
That's a great song.
Well,
it's a throwaway, but what? That's a lovely little jaunty dance number.
It was George Harrison just about finding his way. Although his second song, You Like Me Too Much, basically is that spawned the career of the Coral.
Okay. Oh, God. Unlucky. Here's a question we always do, and I can never remember the answer to it. Dredge, maybe you'll remember the answer. Jay will work it out, because Jay's brain is like a computer.
Is it 4?
No. What in order of song? So in order of songs released by the Beatles, as we would have heard them.
Yes.
What was the first song to not feature the title in the lyrics?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it?
Isn't it a good question? Don't you keep quiet, Dredge?
Are you quizzing me?
I'm quizzing
and you
you.
know the answer, and you want to see if I can get it.
I
can never remember.
I'm going to try and have
it
it
lot.
right. If I had a bit longer, I'd get it right. But is it Love You Too from Revolver?
I think it might be.
Because if it is, do I get some sort of a prize?
Yeah, you get Dredge. You get Dredge as your slave. It is Revolver.
Diseased.
It is Revolver, and I can't remember. It's in
if it's Revolver, I think I got it right.
Tomorrow Never Knows.
But Tomorrow Never Knows
comes after.
It does.
Yeah, it's Love You Too. But yes, what?
Hooray!
This guy's great. This guy knows his onions and his Beatles.
Most of my Beatles knowledge comes from that book, Revolution in the Head, which has all of the songs in order.
Have you read the Mark Lewison book that's like 1,200 pages long and only goes up to 1962?
No, but I keep noticing that every time there's a footnote in Revolution in the Head, or a Wikipedia article about the Beatles, or any conversation about the Beatles, they refer to this Mark Lewison book. So I feel like I've read it already.
It's some book. Rachel Lichtman, who is a kind of a satirist that I quite like. I mean, when the book came out, she tweeted, "I'm on page 896. I don't know anything about the Beatles, but I know that Ringo's grandfather stole a hat once." It's that detailed. Anything else, Dredge, before I cut you off?
Have you ever seen the...
Sorry, I was too trigger happy, Dredge. I apologise. Call back in. Simon is on the line. Good evening, Simon.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. What you got for us?
I've got a general question. I want some advice, but if it's the wrong time, I don't mind calling back later.
Is it advice about Beatles records?
No.
Is it advice about remembering stuff?
No.
Maybe could you call back after 11? Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Is that all right? Are you okay? You sure you sound a bit down? You okay?
I just need. Well, yeah, I'm all right. I just want to pick your brains and the listeners' brains, hopefully.
Give us a little hint as to what it's about to keep the listener tempted.
It's about my cat.
We're in. We'll speak to you after 11. Speak to you. Big supporter of cats on this show. Big supporter of cats. Although my 3. I forgot one of my cats. Then look at that. It's not. My 2 kittens are getting on my nerves. It's ever so slightly.
Well, and you encouraged one to gouge me earlier on.
Yes,
so
I did.
Unforgiven.
Quick, Kath, name a Beatles song.
Norwegian Wood.
I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me.
The Inner Light.
Without looking out of your door, I can
while my guitar gently weeps.
Look at you all. See the love there that's sleeping.
You won't see me.
When I call you
this
up.
Is the best. I want to own him.
My life has changed. I have had
the words
enough. Now that I know what I feel must be right. I'm here to show everybody the light. Give the word a chance to say.
Savoy truffle.
Cream and tangerine.
We're being mean and he's doing it. Go on, two more.
Strawberry Fields.
Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding all you see.
Everybody's got something to hide except for me and my monkey.
Come on. Take it easy.
I can't breathe.
Take it easy. Everybody's got something to hide. And so on and so on.
Oh, mate, I'm good. Put your guitar down. You've earned your keep tonight.
Thank you.
We bullied you a little bit there. That was great. How do you know them all? I guess that's the thing.
Well, some of them I've never played before. I'm pretty sure I've never played Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey. I've got this... I'm lucky enough I've got the skill where if I've heard the song once or twice before, I can play it on guitar straight away. That's not the problem. The problem is learning the lyrics.
The words, yeah.
Actually, the biggest problem of this is... I mean, the fact that I'm going to be singing Beatles songs is immaterial. The real struggle is going to be constantly singing and playing for 9 hours whilst preserving my throat and my fingers. And basically, if I was given any 9.5-hour task to do, the way I would make it go quickly in my head is to think about the career of the Beatles, to make the time go fast. Yeah. So doing Beatles songs is going to be great fun for me, but, the only struggle is singing for that long.
Catheterised? Is that you getting medical assistance?
No, I've not looked into it at all. I need to
I can't go 45 minutes without having a pee these days.
Yeah,
so 9 hours.
You're going to take the guitar to the toilet and stay mic'd up?
I hadn't thought of that either. I don't know.
Do that.
I mean, well, the thing is, because this is a challenge that I've set myself, I guess that means I can set my own rules. So I might as well say, I can take as many breaks as I want, I can make as many mistakes as I want, as long as I can say by the end of the day that every Beatles song is, to the audience's satisfaction, ticked off.
Okay.
But I am allowed to go to the toilet. Okay. I think that's for everyone's interest.
I think that's fair. I think that's decent. We don't want to be too hard on the lad. Let's give everything else a little plug. Are you doing any other shows at the moment? You got stuff lined up?
I've got a tour at the moment, taking around the country, called Disgusting Songs for Revolting Children. Oh. So when I don't sing Beatles songs, I sing my own songs. Okay. And at the moment, I'm doing a child-friendly show.
Oh, mate, really? Tell me more. For what age kind of kids?
6+, although massive children are welcome too. Grown-ups without children come to my shows all the time. And my next gig that I'm aware of is in Dereham in Norfolk. But if you can check my website, jforeman.co.uk, there's a list of all my upcoming shows on there.
Let's have a... Hang on a minute. I'm on your website.
Yeah, unfortunately, because the website is dedicated mostly to the Beatles, it means you have to scroll really far down to find my live shows. But they're there.
Here we go. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, listen, we have to find a gig to take out separate kids. Yeah. We have kids separately. We have to to bring our kids along to this.
Oh, they would love that.
Because my boys love music. They love live music. We're getting Alan Caddick to speak to Jay, definitely. And all right, we'll go through this and I'm going to find a date that we can come along and bring our kids.
Oh, brilliant.
So why a kids show though?
Well,
it's a great idea.
I had a show at the Fringe a few years ago that it wasn't a kids show, but it happened to be in the Pleasance Dome, in the venue that's normally used for children's shows.
Right.
And I had a lot of parents turning up, and they said, "Do you know what? It's such a shame you've got so much swearing in your show, because if it weren't for the swearing, in every other way, it looks like it could have been a really good children's show."
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So I went back the year after with a very similar show, but with the swearing taken out, and I called it Jay Foreman's Disgusting Songs for Revolting Children.
Beautiful.
And it was the most fun I'd ever had, and I sold a lot more CDs than ever before. So I thought, well, I guess I'm doing some children's shows now.
My kids, unfortunately, the age of 7 and 9, will be disappointed at the lack of swearing. They've just discovered swear words, and they come up to me and go, Daddy, can I ask you, is F a swear word? I go, yes, F is a very big swear word. How would you use it in a sentence?
Yeah.
And I've told them.
My daughter said that
they're going to do it. They're going to do it properly.
My daughter said the other one had used the C word the other day.
Oh, yeah, I've had that.
Oh, wow. I mean,
if
the
crap.
Kids want to...
It was fine, it was crap.
Yeah, I know.
If your kids like swearing so much, they're more than welcome to come to my adult shows.
Yeah. They're filth. Because me and Kath, years and years ago, about 10 years ago, I was doing volunteer work at Great Ormond Street on Radio Lollipop. And it's basically, I was doing a phone-in show. I was doing this phone-in show, but for kids. And it was so funny. It was hilarious. I found it funny anyway. And me and Kath have been talking for ages about Dredge, who you spoke to actually suggested, wouldn't it be great to do like a phone-in show for kids on a Saturday morning here? It would be great. It's probably never going to happen under the current regime, and that's fine. But then we were thinking maybe we go and do a live show for kids.
We could do that
somewhere. But we still haven't quite worked out what it would be. But I think I would love to. Let's say hello to Alan, and then we're going to let you go, Jay. You've worked hard, you've sweated for us, you've sung for us. Alan, you have managed to stay awake this time. You fell asleep yesterday.
I don't know what happened there, boss.
Yeah, well,
when you fell asleep, you were breathing very deeply, your eyes were closed.
We went to you after 15 minutes of you being on hold, and you were asleep. And then a weird alarm went off. You woke up and turned your phone off.
I thought you disconnected the call.
No, mate, you disconnected the call in your sleep.
Yeah, Sally told me what happened.
There we go. As long as Sally's keeping you up to date, your ex-lawyer, and I've noticed that she no longer wants to represent you for legal reasons. You're through to Jay Foreman. Would you like to ask him anything?
Well, not tonight, because I'm feeling a bit down.
Oh, no. Jay, we're going to get one more song for you. Maybe a song in a second that could help cheer Alan up, because the Beatles bring so much joy and love. But, Alan, what's wrong?
I think I'm suffering from anxiety and depression.
Oh, my God! What a bombshell to drop on us! Dude, what's happened, brother?
Everything's going on top of me.
Oh, mate. OK, well, some practical stuff. How long has this been going on for?
I can't give a time because it just dawned on me tonight.
OK, well, that's good that it's dawned on you. OK, it's dawned on you. But you, thinking back, you think maybe it's been going on for a little while?
Yeah.
OK. Could you make an appointment to go and have a chat with your doctor?
Well, I'm been so busy looking after me mum and dad just on top of me.
Yeah, I know, and I know your mum's not been very well. But
my dad as well.
Oh, your dad as well, blimey. But here's the thing: carers have to look after themselves, otherwise they get ill and they can't care for the people they're caring for. So do you think you could maybe phone the doctor tomorrow and get an appointment in?
Yeah, I could do that.
I think it would be good. It'd be nice to just phone them up. And you probably won't get an appointment for a few days, so, and just allow yourself an hour to go off to the doctors and have a chat and tell them what you've told me and anything else that's worrying you. Can I let you into a secret, Alan?
Sure, boss.
You know I've come off my pills?
Yeah.
I emailed my doctor today saying, can I go back on my pills, please? Life's hard. So I might go back on my pills.
I'm currently on my Spiridone at the moment.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but... go and have a chat with your doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, and he or she might offer you pills, they might offer you therapy, they might tell you to come back in a month and see if it's still going on, they might give you some other suggestions of things that you could do to help yourself. But
yeah.
I really appreciate you sharing it with us, Alan. That's a big thing to do, man.
Yeah, it's the same from the usual nonsense.
No, it's fine. Listen, you can call us about anything you want. Would you like a Beatles song?
Yes, please.
Here we go. Have you got a Beatles song, Jay? Your last one of the night to help cheer Alan up, who's not feeling too good.
I think I've got to finish with a nice, happy song.
Let's do it.
All you need is love.
Here we go, Alan.
All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
And possibly medication.
Alan, speak to the doctor and give us a call maybe later in the week, all right, man?
I will, boss.
Take care, fella. Thank you very much. Jay, I love you.
So good.
Can you come back every night and just let us shout Beatles songs at you for 10 minutes, please?
Whenever you like.
It helps. We've had some tweets. Graham says, I have enough trouble remembering my own songs. Jay is brilliant. Can he come on every week? How is he doing that syllable thing that you're doing earlier on? That's insane. That's the problem, Dave. I think there may be. jayforeman.co.uk. JAYFOREMAN.co.uk. Go and have a look at the songs. There's loads of Beatles songs still left. Go and put your bid in. Me and Kath have put a bid in on Revolution number 9, which is mean. It's mean, but we chuckled when we did it. We were sat there giggling.
I'm looking forward to that one because I do have a plan how I'm going to play it, but I don't want to spoil it until the day.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I saw someone asking as well on Twitter, are you going to stream it live? Is there a Periscope thing going on?
I definitely want to because there's a lot of people who are interested in it, but they can't make it to London to watch the show. Yeah. So I'm going to look into it. Okay. I'm hoping it's a simple case of me bringing my laptop along and pressing the stream button. Yeah. I will make it happen somehow.
Periscope on a mobile phone, dead easy. Just put it on a tripod, point it at you.
I could do, but then how will I check Twitter during the show?
Oh, mate! Let us know what you sort out and we'll give it a plug. And on Twitter you are...
At Jay Foreman.
Beautiful. There you go, Jay. So nice to meet you, man.
Thank you.
You
too.
so much. We'll get you back in at some point. The show continues 03444991000. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
He was amazing, wasn't he? Wasn't that incredible, man? That was wonderful. Wasn't he great? I was just giggling like a loon, shouting Beatles songs at him, and you just instantly the fingers would go into the right position, and he'd be off. He'd be off. I hate talented people.
Can't play the guitar very well at all, and it makes me sick.
Go and bung him a few quid, Go on. We got Revolution number 9. I'm not going to get to see him do it, but just the thought of him doing it is enough for me. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Well, I've written down... I've written down Chinese. Kath came round to mine earlier on, before we went to work, and I've just given up on losing weight. Stuff it. I'm 16 stone now. Who cares? Let's go to the big 17. Let's take it up there. I've got other stuff to worry about. So we ordered... I said, let's order a Chinese. So we ordered a Chinese with a lady whose English was not great.
No. Okay, and we didn't have a menu.
No, we didn't have a menu.
So we couldn't do numbers.
The first Chinese wouldn't deliver on a Monday or a Tuesday. And then this place... So we kind of managed to order stuff. And I said, all right, can I pay by card? And she said, we don't take card. It's cash only. And I said, oh. It was at the end of quite a long phone call. I went, oh, well, we haven't got any cash, so we're going to have to leave it then.
Never mind then. Thank you. Bye.
That was the end.
Yeah.
So then we ordered a Domino's.
And she did say, OK.
Yeah.
And ended the phone call.
So then we ordered a Domino's pizzas. And the Domino's pizzas came 2 for one Tuesday.
I couldn't believe it, right? Last time it took ages.
It took an hour and 40 minutes.
This time it arrived within half an hour and it was hot.
It was like 20 minutes. It was insane. So we're
must have been someone else's.
Chomping down on that. And winding the cats up. And then the doorbell goes. And I go, no one rings on the door. Maybe it's the pizza guy's forgotten something. So I go and open it, and it's a Chinese lad. And he says, I got your dinner. His English wasn't great either. He said, got your dinner. I said, no, you ain't. I said, we cancelled that. He went, what? I said, yeah, we cancelled. I felt terrible. I said, we cancelled it because the lady said you didn't take card, and I've got no cash, so we cancelled it. He said, oh, it's okay, you can write a cheque. I said, no. He said, well, have it, and I can come and get the money tomorrow. And I said, mate, I'm really sorry, we ordered something else. And he looked at me like I'd just done a poo on his mum's head. It was like disgust. He was disgusted. Yeah. And I felt ashamed. And I very nearly said, go on then, I'll take it. If you come around tomorrow morning, I'll get you the money. I thought, no, because I'm sure I ended the phone call saying, all right, well, we won't do it then. We'll cancel it. We won't have it. And this lad, he was heartbroken. And I know it's like small businesses trying to make a few quid. Every sale counts, and the petrol and all of that. And he slunk off. And felt terrible. Speaking of small businesses, I did a joke today that backfired terribly. It's not been a great day. So Scott Balcony, a lot of you will know, runs Balcony Shirts.co.uk, T-shirt printers, hat embroiderers, mug seller, tote bags,
flip-flops.
Does it all. He's great, right? Anyway, he was having an argument with Catherine about chimneys on Twitter.
It wasn't even an argument. He asked a question about why it doesn't rain down your chimney.
But it does sometimes.
Well,
so a lot of them have covers on. And then a lot of chimneys have covers on.
And the hole's not straight.
Yeah. And, well, a lot of them have covers on. And also, if it rains heavily, I've had a wet hearth.
Oh, gosh.
Soak it, honestly. But also, quite often in chimneys, it'll be staggered a bit as well, so that the rain doesn't get down. So I told him this. So I schooled him. His reply to me and Catherine was, excuse me, I'm emotional, I will kill you. So as a joke, I was in a good mood. I'd taken a lot of Nurofen because I had a really bad headache, so I was feeling loose. I was feeling very, very loose, man. And, Kiana, I'll come to you in a minute. I was feeling loose. I was on the train. Don't get the train very often. I was feeling grown up on the train. I was loose. I was relaxed. Relaxez-vous, s'il vous plaît. So I reported his tweet. Clicked on the report button. Right. And I wrote, this is a death threat.
Now, given the things I've reported and that are apparently fine by Twitter, GIFs of people I don't know.
GIFs of Jaffs?
Yeah, and stuff like that, and people saying, calling me SE and things like that, and then Twitter comes back and says, that's fine.
Yeah. I had a bloke last night calling me a poufta. Poufta. Now, if he wasn't going to get blocked for homophobia, get blocked for spelling, but no, they allowed him to call me a poufta. Yes. Even though when I submitted the complaint, I pretended I was homosexual. I said he was mocking my sexuality, calling me a poufta. So I thought what's going to happen is, what is obviously a joke death threat, you get that email from Twitter that says, we've looked into this, we've context, it has to be taken in context, and we've not done it, we've decided to do nothing about it.
Don't they look at the rest of the tweets?
Yeah. So the plan was that would come through, I'd get a screen grab of that, send it to Scott and go, well, you got away with it this time, mate. But no, 5 minutes later, it comes through, thank you for reporting this, we take the abuse online very seriously, we've locked the account. Oh, no, mate, no. And so I'm sat there feeling very, very loose. I had taken a lot of Nurofen, right?
You mentioned that.
Didn't sleep last night at all, and I had a headache, and heating was on all night. I was loose, very loose. oh, no. And then Scott phones up, right? And he goes, mate, they've suspended my account. And I just started laughing. I couldn't breathe, right? I was laughing so much, right? And I said, oh, no, that's terrible. I said, that's terrible. I was laughing. And he said, I've got orders on DMs. That's my business.
Oh, I know.
I'm just laughing at him. I said, all right, let me have a think, see what we can do about it. So he puts the phone down. So then I tweet what happened. I tweet, Scott sent me a joke death threat. So I jokingly reported it. And now he's been blocked. So can everyone go to his website and buy something? Right? Balconyshirts.co.uk. So I tweet that. And then he phones me up and he says, was it you that reported me? I thought he knew. And I went, oh, mate, I'm so sorry. And then he said, I'm actually going to kill you. And he's calling me an effing C. It was do you know what? It was very abusive, actually. And I thought it was quite big of me to just sit there and listen and laugh while he was doing it. I thought I was quite, because I could have laid into him, could have destroyed him. I did record the call, and I'm sending that to Twitter and the police. But is it you effing C? This is it. But all day, right? So then I've emailed Twitter going, guys, probably not a great opening gambit to Twitter. So guys, this is a joke, and I didn't mean it. Please, this is a small independent business, and nothing.
They're going to ban you.
Then I said to Scott, I'm off Twitter again, right? Because this is going badly for me. So why don't you have my Twitter account? Have it until yours gets reinstated. It can take a week for it to get unsuspended. I said, have my Twitter account, right? And he said, I don't really want to, mate. I heard your show last night. I don't want to see what's in the DMs. In all honesty, that was his response, which I thought was rude, but actually a fair point. So here's what's happening, right? If anyone knows, he was furious. He didn't say that as a joke either. He was furious, right? So, second show in a row, I'm doing an apology to people I've let down terribly, right? If anyone knows how we can get Balcony shirts, his last name isn't even Balcony. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I found out Scott Balcony isn't called Scott Balcony. I was heartbroken. If anyone knows how we can get Balcony shirts Twitter, maybe there's someone listening.
Do we do a hashtag like the Free Tommy one?
The Weather Street one, Weatherfield one. Isn't it a guy called Jack that runs Twitter? @Jack. Isn't it Jack that runs Twitter?
I think he's busy, though. I don't think he really runs
anyone
it much
knows... Listening to Kiana, we're going to come to you after 11. I hope that's all right. If you can just check with her, it's all right. We'll go to her after 11 because I want to give her a fair crack of the whip. If anyone knows how we can get Balcony shirts ban lifted, because he's losing money every single day. He's losing money, right? And I mean, he's lost a little bit of my respect for the way he spoke to me on the phone.
And he would have done it to you, let's remember.
Well,
I'm sure he has tried.
Okay. Let's say that, okay. But also tomorrow, my Twitter, I've deleted my Twitter again because it ain't working for me. But tomorrow he may take over my Twitter. He may change the name of my Twitter, and he may put a picture. I said, mate, because I do feel terrible. I'm laughing about it, but I feel terrible. I said, mate, do whatever you want to do to it. Until you get yours back, it's yours. I've given him the password. So tomorrow my Twitter may change to Balcony Shirts. It may...
Or he may take his revenge.
He might.
I mean, depends... He's not a big man, I was going to say, but depends if he's going to be the bigger man.
Oh, I felt so bad. But the way he spoke to me on the phone after the event...
was warranted.
It proved I was probably right to teach him a lesson. Don't you think? Okay.
I dare you to say that to his face.
No. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you'd be very, very welcome to. Nice, frothy first hour. You can go anywhere you want. We've got Kiana coming up straight after the news at 11. You can call about whatever you want. We've talked about Twitter. We've talked about Chinese food. Got a lot of stuff in the papers. Jesus being a Greek. Gemma Collins fancies Liam Neeson. Ponchos, accents, and Crackerjack.
And I've got the man selling pickle bits.
No.
What?
Crackerjack. Unbelievable.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I remember it all very well. Looking back, it was the summer I turned 18. We lived in a one-room run-down shack on the outskirts of New Orleans. We didn't have money for food or rent, to say the least. We were hard-pressed. Then Mama spent every last penny we had to buy me a dancing dress. Mama washed and combed and curled my hair, and she painted my eyes and lips. And then I stepped into my satin dancing dress. It was split on the side, clean up to my hips. It was red velvet trim and it fit me good. And staring back from the looking glass was a woman where a half-grown kid had stood. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive me for what I do, please. But if you want out, well, it's up to you. Now don't let me down, your mom's gonna have to move uptown. Don't let me down. Mama dabbed a little bit of perfume on my neck, and she kissed my cheek. And I saw the tears well up in her troubled eyes when she started to speak. She looked at a pitiful shack, and then she looked at me and took a ragged breath. Your paws run off, and I'm real sick, and the baby's gonna starve to death. She handed me a heart-shaped locket that said, to thine own self be true. And I shivered as I watched a roach crawl across the toe of my high-heel shoe. It sounded like somebody else that was talking, asking, Mama, what do I do? And just be nice to the gentleman, fancy, and they'll be nice to you. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive me for what I do. But if you want out, well, it's up to you. Now get on out, girl, you better start moving uptown. Well, that was the last time I saw my ma, the night I left that rickety shack. Cause the welfare people came and took the baby, mom died, and I ain't been back. But the wheels of fate had started to turn, and for me there was no way out. And it wasn't very long till I knew exactly what my mom had been talking about. I did what I had to do, but I made myself a solemn vow that I was gonna be a lady someday, though I didn't know when or how. I couldn't see spending the rest of my life with my head hung down in shame. I might have been born just plain white trash, but fancy was my name. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. It wasn't long after a benevolent man took me in off the street. And 1 week later I was pouring his tea in a 5-room hotel suite. Yes, you were. Well, I charmed a king, a congressman, and an occasional aristocrat. And I got me a Georgia mansion and an elegant New York townhouse flat. And I ain't done that. No. Now in this world there's a lot of self-righteous hypocrites that would call me bad and criticize my mama for turning me out, no matter how little we had. And though I ain't had to worry about nothing for now, 15 years, I can still hear the desperation in my poor mama's voice ringing in my ear. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive me for what I do, but if you want out, well, it's up to you. Now don't let me down, your mama's gonna help me move uptown. And I guess she did.
Got Google Alerts, which I'm probably going to turn off. So this has just pinged through to my thing. Laura Whitmore looks chic in crop top and smart suit as she cozies up to boyfriend Iain Lee at exhibition launch. Is there? And there we are.
Is his name Iain Lee?
His name can't be Iain Lee.
No. Hang on.
There's no. What? They moved in together in December after a year of dating, and Laura Whitmore...
Ian Sterling, his name is.
It says here Ian Lee.
Well, someone's ballsed
Ian
it
Lee
up.
enjoyed a fun date night on Tuesday at the Erica Berksmed's Blowout exhibition launch party in London. The TV star 33 and Love Island funny man 30 cozied up for snaps as they celebrated the hit magazine's launch. Ian looked dapper in his green leather jacket and plaid shirt combo as he proudly supported his girlfriend. The couple became firm friends in 2017, and their romance was a slow burner due to their jam-packed work schedules, not developing until the summer. Okay. Well, that's crazy, guys. That's great. What's the point of me having Google alerts if that's what we're gonna? That's the kind of nonsense we're gonna get, for crying out loud. 03444991000 is the phone number. Give us a call about anything you want. Good evening, Kiana.
Hello, finally.
There we go. Sometimes you got to wait. That's the way of the world.
You made me laugh. That was quite funny, and then I was getting a bit piddled off as well. What a time you've had of it?
Yeah.
No, but what a time you've had of it, haven't you?
Well, it's life. It's life. Life is the name of the game.
Life is life. Yeah.
Life, oh life. What other songs got life in?
So you've actually given your Twitter then?
Sorry?
You've actually given someone your Twitter?
Well, here's the thing.
Not give, but...
Yeah, here's the thing. Catherine has full access to my Twitter now because I don't trust myself on social media, and I'm taking a step back from all electronic media.
Because of the ranting, is that?
Because here's the stuff. But tomorrow I've got my friend's business account suspended because I genuinely did. Obviously,
I listened to all of what you were saying.
Okay, well, I'm saying it again.
Yeah,
obviously, it's not a real death threat. So obviously it's not. It's an argument about chimneys. So I reported it. I'll give him my Twitter until he gets his account back. I'm happy to do that. He feels a little bit weird about it. And he may not take me up on that offer. But I've said he can have it if he wants until his is sorted.
Well, I think that's a lovely thing to do, isn't it?
It would have been lovelier if I hadn't have got his account suspended. I mean, I can see that.
It's going to take a couple of weeks, though, isn't it? About 2 weeks.
I hope he's not listening. I think it's about a week.
I thought it was 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah, they'd spend it for 2 weeks. Well, it might be a week. I don't know.
We don't know. We're just literally guessing at numbers, which is pointless. What can we do for you tonight, Kiana?
I just want to thank you as well. I was going to touch speed with you, if that's all right, because I've had so many mixed emotions, like up, down, piddled off. Yes. Oh, gosh, I nearly swore. Oh, my gosh, I stopped myself. I'm very impressed with myself.
Well done. Well, you stopped yourself after you'd said it, but that's fine. Yeah. Pissed we can get away with.
Weed off. All right, I've been weed off.
Yes. Oh,
right,
that sounds unpleasant. That sounds like weed off sounds like a different thing altogether. You don't want. We don't want to go there. Peed off is fine.
Piddled off.
Piddled off is fine. Here we go.
All right then.
Annoyed.
Okay, Mr. Dictionary.
Yeah.
No, piddled off. I like piddled off.
Jesus. All right. Just okay.
If you just said pissed off, we would have been over it by now.
All right, Mrs. Reason.
All right then. I've been pissed off. Okay.
Boom. Crack on. Why?
I don't like swearing.
Well,
anyway,
you keep going on about it a lot.
Sometimes, but sometimes you do. Yeah, but sometimes it makes you feel better when you swear.
Okay, so what's happened? Tell us what's happened. Let's.
All right then. Loads of stuff. Honestly, constantly. So you and Catherine have been amazing, and James was lovely. I had a right laugh with him Saturday.
Yes.
You know what you said. You was great, and you knocked it right on the head. But I sort of didn't go into detail. I think you've got the long story of it now.
Yes.
So, but basically, with not being able to see my little, I nearly said a name then, my little one.
Yeah.
The local authority have screwed up big time. So for me, I'm watching my back mainly, my daughter's back, and it is all going down the legal route, and all shit is hitting the fan.
Okay, well,
and I'm sure about that.
You just did a shit then.
Sorry?
You just did a shit then.
Yes.
We spent 10 minutes arguing about whether you can say piddled or peed or pissed or not, and then you just throw shit in there.
Yeah, but that shit's different, isn't it? So it's got to come out. You know?
Well, yeah, it's worse than piss. Anyway, right, yes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, all right then. Poop's going to hit the fan.
There we go.
So I decided to do that. So I feel a lot better.
Good.
About
Good.
things.
Taking action.
I'll tell you. But I'm pissed off.
Okay.
I'll use that word because
let's not use it. I tell you what. Let's just make a rule: no more swearing in this phone call. That'll make things easier.
Okay, right. Piddled off. I wasn't impressed. Right, let's start again. You swore to. Right, I wasn't impressed with, like, I spoke to you and stuff and things the way they've gone. There's a lot going on behind the scenes now. So
there always is in these things, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been under a huge emotional roller coaster. My friends have been in tears, literally, since we've spoke. But honestly, so many people have been great, but it's been a hell of an emotional roller coaster for me. Like Catherine said, it's an awful way for me to have to raise suicide awareness. So my emotions have been chucked all over the place, as you can imagine. I'm not the only one that's going through crap time. In you know, when it happens, it happens. But I've been so worn out. Yeah. And you know, I'll tell you what I was annoyed about big time, first of all, because I've got to get it out there now in case anybody else does this to a friend, okay? Yeah. If I want to speak out to whom I want to speak out to, and that's to anybody out there now, and that's as anybody now with common sense, if I feel ready to talk to somebody about it, which I chose to speak to you, a certain friend, which I'm not going to name and shame, I'm not going to be nasty, but my friend will learn from this, and we're not talking at the moment, and that was my choice because I need my headspace because I was furious. And what had happened was I told my friend I wanted to speak to you. Doreen Isaac knows that, like, just different friends that I thought you were great, and that is up to me. It's up to me how I choose and what I want to do for my survival, for myself, to speak out for what I believe in, yeah? When my head was so far up my backside, I didn't know from one day to the next. And if you're coping with your trauma and your pain, as long as you're not doing anything to hurt anyone else and yourself and damage your liver and you're drinking and self-medicating, it doesn't matter what you do. Go and dance, go and do a bit of boxing or whatever. But if you are coping with it and the journey is...
do whatever you've got to do to survive. We've got to do what we have to do to survive.
Exactly, and what had happened for me, I felt stronger, I felt better before I spoke to you. I prepared myself for a month to speak to you. It wasn't, I'm going to speak to them. I didn't randomly call you frantic.
There was a build-up,
Yeah, I've been crying most of the time to myself. Sometimes I wouldn't see my friends because if I'd seen them, they'd worry about me. They're like, oh, Kiana, you know. They wouldn't say it too much, but they were like, in so many words, you're losing too much weight, you're not eating. Yes. And they used to say, oh, have you had anything to eat? Not saying you've gone too thin, by the way.
So you got criticism from a friend because you phoned up the radio to share about how you were feeling. Well, screw them.
I got even worse than that. So I absolutely chucked a bucket. Yeah, and I had to speak to my doctor today. I literally got so pissed off and stressed. Yes. Because it's my choice to speak to you.
Yeah,
I wanted to speak to you. And my friend kept on saying, oh, I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should do it. It's a bad move. And I said, so I'm one of them people, right? I'll tell you, I am an independent thinker, and that's what I liked about you. Can I give you some advice? I'm not telling you what to do. I was prepared for that, so I chose to speak to you. Whether I go on the Jeremy Kyle show, and that is another story, what I've had thrashed at me.
Did you go on Jeremy Kyle?
No, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
About Jeremy Kyle now, and I have spoke to them, and I'll tell you what happened, because I went into the massive rant, and I was so annoyed about this. So my doctors and everybody's been great supporting me, but I know how to cope at the minute. I've coped when I was a kid. There's a certain way when I go. Sometimes I like to be alone when I'm upset and angry, because it's the only way I've learned how to when I was a child. You know, that's my coping mechanism. And then if I get very distressed now, I'll speak to my doctor. There's different waves of emotion for me, and I know when I should speak to people and when I shouldn't text and when they shouldn't dig deep with me. I know my triggers and, you know, and what. So cut long story short, this person knew I was going to speak to you, trying to talk me out of it. So I spoke to you anyway. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. I spoke to them. After I spoke to you, my friends were great. Black Dog Taxis put it on their Facebook. They were, like, supporting us. You know, and stuff's going on. People are talking about in the community. The woman in Sainsbury's was crying, the manager, saying, you know, we're so sorry for what you've been through. We're all here for you.
The manager in Sainsbury's was crying?
She was in tears. I was speaking to her this morning because of what I'd gone through.
Okay.
And she said, I've got children. So anyway, so
where are we? Listen, I don't want to. I want to handle this as sensitive as I can. But we've got other people to talk to. Where are we now? Where are we today? What's happening today, Kiana?
I feel loads better. I was upset because of being told don't talk to. You shouldn't go live on radio. Yeah. But I was
who was telling you that? Was it without naming names? Was it legal? Was it like legal people or doctors or someone? Or
no, it was
just a friend. All right, okay.
But the messages were bombarded saying, because you've spoke to Lee and somebody then called you an amateur, and I was frigging livid.
Well, I am an amateur. An amateur what? That's the important thing.
No, but this was certainly deep for me. But
I'm
what had
professional.
happened,
Get paid.
I then spoke to Jeremy Cole behind the scenes, of a lady, Danielle, and we kept in touch, and she was lovely. And that was it. Me and her spoke about a personal conversation after I spoke to you. Words of encouragement. She was lovely.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go on the show. No disrespect to Jeremy Cole. I
think Jeremy Kyle's show. I like Jeremy a lot. I love his radio show here. I think his TV show is a bear pit. I think it's a freak show, and I do wonder if it is helpful in any way whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, and I agree with that. But from the side of Graham, I'm thinking I just spoke for some advice, and I said I wouldn't go on it, and the woman was lovely. I would never go on it. No disrespect to Jeremy. I'm not sitting here on the screen and stuff. I like to talk and write.
I know.
And the fact is, then I got, now you've got the Jeremy Cole Freak Show, Springer Show. Okay. And I kept on saying to my friends, stop. And they was bombarded with texts, and I was in tears. And you know what? I had to then call my doctor, and now I'm on sleeping tablets. I was like, because I was so distressed, and I said, you've got no frigging right to tell me who
stop
I
saying, Kiana. There's a yellow card now. There's a yellow card now, because I did specifically ask you not to say that. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. We're
okay.
cool. But
well,
that word will. That is a word that will offend some people. Where are we now? So okay. So someone was upset you called us, and someone was upset you called Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah.
Who cares about those losers? What can we do for you tonight?
Well, I just want to say thank you, and I'm fine.
Well, you're very
and that's
kind.
it, really. Feel a lot better about things. Sorry, I swore now. I've piddled you off.
No, you'll piddle me off.
Now.
No, not in the slightest. Oh, no, not in the slightest. Don't want you to go away thinking...
Your mind, at the end of the day, your mind runs away with you. You can't help it.
Well, that's how I get... That's how I earn my living. And, this is my job. But no, don't worry. No, it's always great to hear from you. I'm glad that you're making progress and that you're...
Yeah, I just want to get on with things now.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't want people to, you can't ram it down people's throats. But obviously, I chose to speak to my doctor today.
Good.
And
that advice has popped up a bit with Alan. It popped up. You go and see a doctor. I emailed my doctor today. I can't get an appointment
I'm
until...
really sorry I swore and I've offended you now.
You've not offended me. Listen.
I'm going to feel worried about that.
I know you are, and so I want you to not feel worried about it because you've not offended me. It's fine. I dumped it, so it's fine. I don't want you to take anything away from this apart from joy and the fact that we spoke. And there are no bad feelings coming from me or Catherine. So don't any bad feelings you take away from this phone call are coming from inside your head. Okay. So let them go.
It's just very complex, the whole situation, isn't it? And you're right, and it is inside your head. You've got to change your mindset.
Yeah.
But my doctor today, and I know my triggers, and I thought, I'm not going to be ashamed. I'm going to take a few sleeping tablets because I feel I can't sleep at the minute because my brain's taking
Follow
over.
your doctor's suggestion. Follow the recommended dosage.
Well, it wasn't a suggestion. I asked them.
Okay. Well,
they know my triggers, and they know that I'll reach out to them because I've got common sense with that.
Listen.
And I'm going to have my therapy. I'm going to start therapy now, which I'm very pleased about.
You're on the way up. You're turning the car around from the cul-de-sac and you're heading out, and you're going to be hitting the streets. Then you're going to hit the high street. Then you're going to hit the motorway.
I hope I do.
You will. You're doing it.
I just get scared.
I know you do.
I don't want you to worry about me and put a burden on everyone else, but I just get scared that I'm not going to be able to get over this pain and deal with that.
Kiana, I know.
So I don't want people picking at me when and telling me what to do because
it's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough and it's just silly, and I know that I'm dealing with it better to speak to Dr. Leach today, and I'm not going to be ashamed of that.
Don't be ashamed of anything, Kiana. I have to.
If journalists contacting me, my head's all over the place, and it is a lot to deal with, and I just need to get on with my life now. So I probably won't nag and bother you for months on end now.
You call us whenever you want, all right? Listen, I'm glad you're doing well. You take care of yourself, and we will speak soon, Kiana. Thank you very much for your call.
It's okay. Take care, okay?
Take care. Thanks a lot. There we go. There's a lot of people in a lot of pain, man. There's a lot of people in a lot of pain. We had Caddick phoning up, sounding very, very down. A lot of people worried about Caddick. Hopefully he'll go and see his doctor. Caddick's, resilient guy, and we sometimes take that resilience for granted and think those people will be okay, and we have a laugh with Alan and we have a bit of fun with him, and he sounded low today, so hopefully he'll go and see his doctor. I had to get in touch with my psych today, and I just kind of gave in. I had to get up early and go and do a job, and I came back and I just stayed in bed all day. Just stayed in bed for 5 hours, not even asleep, just in bed, just lying there going, Jesus, what's the point, man? What is the point? Got my sister sending me texts and I'm ignoring it. I just think, what's the point? So I messaged my psych, and I can't get an appointment until March the 5th, I think. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll book it in. And then I've just written him a long email saying, right, this is what is going on. This is what has happened in the last few weeks. I came off the pills on December the 23rd, finally. And since then, I've not felt great. At best, I felt okay, but I quite often felt down, very low. And then there's been this big kind of, shame attack that from within that has happened in the last 3 weeks, and that has left me feeling suicidal at points, and I'm struggling to kind of get out of that cycle of just thinking, I was saying to you, I just don't, what's the point in anything? What's the point? I know it breaks your heart to hear me say that because we're best mates. But just what's the point in anything? I'm so close to phoning my boss up and saying, do you know what? Thanks, I'm done. There's no point. I need the job. I like the job at time. I will like the job again. So I just wrote this long email to the doctor going, this is what is going on. And at the end, I wrote, and it feels like failure, but I know it's not failure. At the end, I wrote, please, can I go back on the pills? Please, can I go back on the pills?
So that's out there, and then see if anything's different in between now and the appointment. And if it's not. Do you know what? It's not a surrender.
No, it isn't. I was speaking to one of my sponsors, and he said, well, okay, right, what would you say to someone...
Yeah, what would you say to me?
In your position, I'd say, well, go and see your doctor. Go and see your doctor and see what they say. So I did, but it just feels like it was such a big thing coming off these flipping pills. And, by the way, Johnny in Highbury, you called in. I've accepted the call. You're never getting on the air. Because remember you said you weren't ever going to listen or call again? So you can stay there. You're paying for that call. You're never coming on the air. Obsessed. The man's obsessed. But, yeah, please, can I go back on the pills? I need the pills, man. I need the pills. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Because they're too real to be part of my imagination.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're very welcome to give us a call. Hey, I got yesterday after the show a big box. We got sent a book, didn't we? Who sent us that book? I was going to mention it. It's in my car. I'll bring it in tomorrow and mention it. Someone very kindly sent us a book they'd written. About Nick Drake's song, and also I got from Cherry Red Records. I got the Carter, the Unstoppable S Machine vinyl box set. It's absolutely stunning. I got it. I can't believe it. Wonderful. So we're going to be got the boys this weekend. We're listening to a bit of Carter. We're going to have some Carter. That's what we're doing. 0344 499 1000. Just to say. I'm really glad that Kiana calls us, and everyone is welcome to call. Almost everyone, apart from the Idiots We Band. Almost everyone's welcome to call us, and some callers, dear listener, you might dig, and some callers you might not dig. But some just have a bit of patience with everyone, And I'm glad that Kiana calls us, and I need to find... I'm certainly interested in hearing her story, and I need to find a way to perhaps help... she does what I do, but she does it like she's like on speed, in that she's going off on tangents, but like 100 miles an hour. Or I'll take a leisurely stroll through the garden of tangents. And I just need to have a little think about how I can help herd her, like a sheepdog herding a sheep towards the pen. I have to try... when you see when a sheepdog is herding sheep, they'll kind of go to the left a little bit, then they'll go to the right a little bit, then they'll go to the left a little, then they'll go to the right, then they'll go... Boom, they're in, then the gate gets shut. And I just need to kind of try and herd her in perhaps a slightly straighter line, I think is what I'm saying. So I appreciate... that some of you listeners don't like some of the callers we get, and that's fine, but that within 10, 15 minutes, another voice will be on, if not sooner, and it might be someone that you really, really enjoy. So just patience. We are all God's children, and just be patient with people is what I would say. And also, that's what I would say. Let's go to Simon. Good evening, Simon.
Hello again.
Hello, Simon. Now, cats. Talk to me about cats.
Right. So, I'll try and be as brief as I can, but I'm racking my brain. So, I live in a social housing flat.
Yep.
Have done for years now, and I've got a cat, a female neutered cat, who is 8 years old.
Yep, beautiful.
She is a very nervous cat.
Uh-oh.
She won't go to anybody, just me.
Yeah.
And which is a result, because I've told you in a previous conversation that the people downstairs have actually stolen a couple of my cats over the years.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, put it this way. The relationship between me and them has got so bad now that I have to get an exchange. Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
My cat, she comes in, she goes out, she's got her own free life, she's got a cat flap, she does what she wants.
Aye.
I've been to see a place today that I could exchange into.
Yeah.
But it's in a block of flats and it's on the second floor.
Okay.
Now, I don't want
a rope ladder out the window.
No, well,
so you do it?
Would that work?
A fireman's pole. No, of course it wouldn't work. It's a ridiculous idea.
No, I was going to say. So what I need to know is, because I don't want to keep her in, because that's not fair on her.
Nope.
I don't want her to lose me. That sounds anal, but because that wouldn't be fair on her.
Yep.
But I have to get out of where I am.
Right.
Could she be trained to use a communal door as well as another door and 2 flights of stairs? Is there any way around it?
No.
Right.
No. I think that is asking a lot. I think that's asking a lot. Can I?
Right.
Can I?
Yeah.
Pick you up on something that you said.
Yeah.
Can I pick you up on something? You said you don't want to keep her in because it's unfair on her. Get that?
Yeah.
And did you say you don't want to give her away?
No. I don't want to. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose her.
What do you mean by lose her?
Well, as I said, she's very nervous.
No,
right?
but no. What do you mean you don't want to lose her? You mean give her away, put her up for adoption?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, well, what do you mean by you don't want to lose her?
So I was thinking maybe an option would be, if the other party were to entertain it, of actually letting them inherit her with the flat.
That's insane.
So that she doesn't change.
That's insane.
Have to go through.
That's insane.
Okay.
That's. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll jump at the chance, but that's kind of insane.
My neighbours tried that. Well, the people that moved out of our house tried that. They left a cat and didn't tell anyone. The cat thought he still lived there. We hadn't agreed to it.
Yeah.
It caused a whole lot of hassle. He ended up living next door, and that he adapted.
Why would you want to leave the cat in the flat? Thank you, but not put the cat up for adoption, which seems to me the same thing but slightly fairer.
When I say let them inherit her with the flat, obviously I don't mean just leave her. I mean actually go through, an arrangement with the people to say, could the cat still live here? Would you be happy to take her on?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean by that. I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But I don't what I don't understand is why you'd be prepared to do that with people you haven't vetted, and who may not give a stuff about a cat, but you wouldn't go to a local cat charity and put her up for adoption.
Would you say that was an option?
Yeah, of course I would say that was an option. But here's the thing: is you said you don't want to lose her.
Yeah.
For her sake. I suggest you don't want to lose her for your sake.
No.
It's not her sake. Her sake would be somewhere nice and lovely where people will love her, where she can get out and about.
Yeah, but right. So this is the way. This is why I'm looking at it. Right. Perhaps I'm looking at it the wrong way, because I think what we do is we look at these things through a human's eyes, don't we? But if I was going to look at it through a human's eyes, there I am, happily living my life, and there's my dad, and he gives me my dinner and gives me cuddles. Huh? I've done absolutely nothing wrong, and all of a sudden my whole world has been turned upside down. And that's the bit I've got a problem with.
Well, right, you want the new place, yeah?
I'd like to consider it as an option, but I'd like to do what's best for her as well.
Okay, well then what's best for her is you stay where you are.
I know it is.
Well, that's it. If that's genuinely the concern, which I don't think it is, and I'm not saying this is a criticism. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you get to the true and right, in inverted commas, decision. But if you want to do what's best for the cat, well then you stay there.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is that's not an option.
Right. Well, okay, fine. But you did say you want to do what's best for the cat. Well, that option is what's best for the cat. So the other options are you move to the new place and you keep her as an indoor cat.
Is that doable, and is that fair?
It's doable.
would she know? Would she be pining for the outside world
For the
like she's
fields.
got at the moment?
I am of the belief that once a cat has been out, it's tricky to then turn them into a house cat. But are you allowed to have a cat in the new place?
Yeah.
Right, fine. Well, then here's my suggestion. You move to the new place, you take the cat, you keep her as an indoor cat. It will take a few months for her to settle down. If after 6 months she is pining and it's not going well, then you put her up for adoption. Leaving her at the old place is not workable.
Yeah, I get that. It was purely from the point of view of that's what she knows, and so.
No, the cats adapt. Velvet has moved. Velvet has moved 1, 2, 3. She's moved 4 times, and she adapts. You keep them indoors for 6 weeks, and that's fine. They adapt.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
So Velvet, obviously, I know Velvet's old now, but even when she was a bit more active, maybe she didn't mind too much.
She's moved 5, 6 times actually. No, she didn't mind. No, you keep her indoors. You feed her. You have a litter tray, and then after about 6 weeks, I do it actually for a bit longer. I do it for closer to 3 months because I'm a bit funny like that. Let them out, and they know that that's their home.
What about if when I go out, I let the cat out and then bring her back in when I come home? Is that an option?
That's an option. I remember in the old days. You remember this, Kath? In the old days, we didn't have a cat flap in our house.
Put the cat out.
You put the cat out for the night.
Yeah.
And in the morning, you come down, and the cat would be at the back door, go, "Got any breakfast?" And the cat would stay in all day, and at night time, the cat would go out. But the cats sleep at night, which is the weird thing.
Yeah, but I don't.
Well, then there you go.
No, but that might work. That might work.
Yeah, it might do. Yeah.
Basically,
yeah.
I need to do what I need to do. Right, I'm in a miserable situation.
Okay.
And I need, and my safety.
This is going on longer than the last call. Wow.
Sorry.
That's all right. Go on.
My safety is in jeopardy as well. Okay.
Right.
So I have to get away and get out, and I've got options.
Right, well, go to this place and take. Look, listen, I'm going to move on because I feel we're going around in circles.
Yeah, fair enough.
Go to this new place and keep the cat indoors for 3 months and see how she gets on. There you go, sorted. Next, thank you very much, Simon. 03444991000. Good evening, Brad. Hello, Brad.
Hello.
Hello, Brad.
You're welcome to the Brad and Catherine show, Ian. How are you tonight?
Gosh, wow, it's a real thrill.
It's an assumption on your part, Brad.
I'm a big fan of the Brad and Catherine
I'm
show.
going solo.
I'm a big fan, and this is why I like it. Is the sparky attitude between Brad and Catherine? That's what I like about it, Brad.
Well, I'm just a bit worried, mate, because you've helped so many people, and it's like you need our help
I've
now,
got
really,
such
don't
a
you?
croaky voice. Brad has got
Sorry.
a croaky voice. He's been smoking the fags all day. He
gave
sounds
up
like
many years
Phyllis
ago.
from Coronation Street. Hey, Percy, touch me.
I gave up many years ago.
Well, or maybe you want to start again. That's what I'm thinking.
You've helped so many of us over the time.
shut up, you
Why
silly sausage.
going on with you now?
Shut up, you silly sausage. Shut up. I bang on about it too much, and it's boring, and it kills the show, and it kills the vibe of the show, and that's why we're losing listeners, even though we went up in the last rage hour, and it pisses people off. I bang on about this stuff too much, and even I'm bored of it, so God help, the poor listener. This is what the show gets criticism for. It gets criticism for being frivolous, and it gets criticism for being too miserable, for being, how did they describe it once on Digital Spy? Suicide helpline, guys. It's like bloody Samaritan suicide helpline. And I'm aware of that, and I'm aware that my job is to entertain. I'm an entertainer. I'm like the Sammy Davis Jr. of the radio, but I don't have a glass eye. I would be up for a glass eye if that were available. I wonder if Sammy Davis Jr.'s eye has ever appeared on eBay. How much would that go for? That was good. That was quick.
Quick one, wasn't it?
Don't know if
It was
good.
quick, wasn't
I don't know if
funny,
it was
but
good. I don't know if it was good
it was
actually. Yeah,
quick.
it was a quick one.
Yeah.
It was a quick one.
Anyway,
Brad.
Anyway, how are you? You're not great right now, right?
I'm not great right now, but it's boring. Listen, here's the thing, right? Yesterday was a weird show because I had to admit something on air that I didn't want to admit on air, and I was full of. I'm ashamed of the stuff that I had to admit on air, and all day I've been grappling with that. Okay, but it had to be done because someone was talking about going to the press about and showing my dick pics, right? By the way, which I'm going to be selling online $5 a pop. I'm not at all. I'm trying to make light of a situation that is very, very embarrassing and shameful to me. And so there was that. And then, I'm just aware, Brad, that the show has always been to a certain extent, but it's becoming even more so at the moment as I approach my 19th nervous breakdown. It's becoming more about me and my psyche and stuff, and it's boring. Let's get fun. Let's be fun. Let's talk about. Let's do the top 30 best radio shows that the BBC compiled that didn't feature any from commercial radio. Desert Island Discs. I mean, really? Let's talk about Crackerjack.
Crackerjack
coming back. Let's talk about accents, but disappearing. Let's talk about these things, man. It's a fun.
Yeah, there is that. But I mean,
Brad, what's your favourite wine gum?
My favourite wine gum would have to. I have no idea. But I spoke to you the other week, and I said it was my third AA meeting.
Yeah.
And that was like a big thing for me, because you say, my name's Brad. Everybody who knows me knows exactly what I am, who's listening on the radio. So, but that was a massive thing for me. So you've got to understand, you are helping a lot of people.
Yeah, I dig that. I'm also hurting a handful of people as well. I dig that. I'm probably more than a handful if you include all the mistakes and, wicked things I've done in life. And I don't say that lightly. My tongue is not in my cheek. But we do. The show does help a lot of people, and that's great. But that's not the main purpose of the show. That's a lovely little byproduct of the show and of what we do and of kind of the act that me and Catherine have been crafting for the last 5 years. Catherine Boyle.
I guess what we're trying to say, Brad, is we don't want to turn our lives, and Ian's in particular, into a soap opera.
Here's a thing I learnt today. Catherine writes, I can't read Catherine's Fs. Her Fs look like sixes. They look like sixes.
I'm fancy. What can I tell you?
She wrote, well, I thought it was Milkoff, because the F, the six is the F is so close to the to the U, that it looks like an M. Crazy, but then I read it, and it was
It's an old-fashioned fur goes underneath the line.
It's an old-fashioned what?
Fur.
Okay. So that's where we are in our relationship today, Brad, is Catherine does her Fs like sixes, and I just don't know if it's going to work, if this working relationship can continue anymore.
Well, maybe you should just carry on what you're doing, but get the Beatles guy in every...
He was great, wasn't he?
He was amazing, especially the bit where he missed every other vowel or whatever it was.
He shifted it along syllable. I was thinking, we'll get this guy for 20 minutes. It'd be kind of cute to open the show with. And then we have 40 minutes later. I'm like, well, maybe we should let him go now. It was wonderful. If you missed it, it'll be out as a podcast, and we'll see if we can get a little video clip of it as well.
Blimey.
Blimey, look at that. A little bit of dust went in. A little bit of dust went in the wrong hole. The A-hole.
I think you're the one who's been smoking too much.
I really want to get a cigar. I really want to get a big fat cigar, and I want to sit in my garden. It's a lovely sunny day the other day, and I sat in the garden and had breakfast. I didn't, actually. That's a lie. I was going to, and then I thought, I can't be bothered. So I just opened the French windows. But I want to sit in my garden with a cigar.
Don't only Mike Baldwin smoke cigars nowadays?
Mike Baldwin's dead, so someone's got to pick up the cigar mantle. And
that's huge.
I think, and I want a bigger cigar than his. I want a Churchill cigar.
Dead.
Like
Castro.
Arnold
dead.
Schwarzenegger.
Baldwin. Dead.
Schwarzenegger. Alive.
Yeah.
Well.
Bald. Either dead or bald. That's the thing. I'm doing all right, Brad. I'm doing all right for this precise second. But thank you for asking.
You make sure you keep well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You're a good man, Brad, and I hope you took what I was saying in the way it was intended, and it was meant with love. So thank you, brother. Oh, the switchboard's empty. Oh, John from Highbury has stopped phoning in.
Oh, I miss that guy.
I know, that guy that never phones in but keeps phoning in. Oh, so everyone apart from him. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got a very poor internet connection.
On Talk Radio.
By the way, thank you to Stevie P, who sent me the link for a trailer for a film that looks amazing. It's a guy that chopped his arm off. Who's the name of the director that did that film about the guy who chopped his arm off?
Danny Boyle.
Yep.
Why would you reach for that rather than my surname?
Yeah. Kath and Danny.
Can't you rhyme in slang?
So it's a film called Yesterday,
yeah,
and it's about this guy and he gets knocked off his bike, and then when he comes out of the coma, no one's ever heard of the Beatles.
I don't understand how that works medically.
Well, I think there's a power cut around the world as well. Something happens. Maybe he enters another universe, or maybe he's in a coma and he wakes up. But no one's ever heard of the Beatles. So he goes and writes all the Beatles songs. Basically, it's a reworked Goodnight Sweetheart, which is what he did every episode, is he'd go back in time to 1943 and write Hey Jude.
Yes.
It is... but it looks good. I mean, you're right. We saw the trailer. And
We've seen 2 trailers, and I think we might have seen the film.
But it does look good, even though... And here's me saying a film with Ed Sheeran and James Corden in looks good. That's incredible scenes. Incredible scenes. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know anything more about that.
I think we could do with something frothy.
Here's an idea, and I think we could do this. Let's try and get Danny Boyle on the show. I think we could do it.
Uncle Danny.
We've had Jeff... Yeah, exactly. Oh, is he? Is he?
Yuck.
You should have... I know.
No, but, I mean, distantly, probably, yeah.
Get him on the show. Let's get him on the show.
Danny Boyle, dear...
Danny Boyle at yahoo.co.uk.
Dear Uncle Dan.
Let's get him on the show. We've had Jeff Goldblum on this show.
Yeah, that was a fluke, wasn't it? I mean, that was meant to happen.
That was such a fluke.
I'm still waiting for someone to realise that was a huge mistake.
So can we please, for the love of all that is holy, guys, that interview of Jeff Goldblum, can we get the audio back? No, you may not have that audio back. Let's go to Nellie. Good evening, Nellie.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Hey.
Hey, man.
Hi there. Just want to chat about something that happened at work last few days. I'm actually a home worker, work from home and doing fairly mundane stuff I won't bore you with. But they've advertised for a voluntary role as a mental health champion, which I've shown a bit of interest in.
A champion? Do you get a medal for that? A flag?
I don't think that's...
Okay.
No. I think it's just a sort of a go-to person if you've got problems, issues. I mean, I've had a couple of issues myself, which so I've got a bit of an understanding in a mild sort of way. But the thing that sort of holds me back a bit is, at the end of the day, could there be people I've talked to that might play my mind a bit, might be a bit, will I be able to sort of deal with any of their baggage that they might unload on me? So that's something I want to do, but I'm a bit sort of, umming and ahhing over it, really. So
did you just use the phrase that they might turn your mind?
Might turn over in my mind.
Oh, okay. I thought. Oh, that's a great phrase. Might turn your mind.
Surely it depends on how well thought through this role is. Is it just that they're having someone who they're going to give a badge so that they can say that they're doing a bit for mental health, or will you have the right support? Because if you're going to do the job properly, you'll need someone to offload onto. Yes.
Will there be any training? Will there be someone, either above you or beside you in terms of the role that you can, if someone come, here's the thing, you'll have heard this show and people saying they're suicidal. I'm honoured that people phone in and do that, but I nearly saw them. It's a big one to carry around with you, right? And I'm lucky because I've got Catherine, I've got a therapist, and I phone the Samaritan sometimes and talk about this stuff. Would you have someone who you could go and speak to in confidence and offload on, so to speak?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's going to be some training and preparation for the role if I get, if I decide to go for it. And there's also going to be someone we can refer more serious things up to, and we'll be able to give them a call and sort of say, what should I do with this? So it seems to be all well thought out and well planned, but it's just that niggle that.
So the niggle is what? That someone sharing something that is painful for them is going to cause you distress.
Just it'll just play on my mind. I'll be worried about them at the end of the day, and
that's because you're a good man. That's you're a good person. Excuse me, I'm a little bit windy, Pops. You're a good person, and that is a good, healthy concern to have. Is there any way? Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You sound perfect for the role. The fact that you're even considering this as a possibility says to me, this is the right person for the role. Anyone that's prepared to step forward and put their hands up and say, yeah, I'll have a go at that, I think is great. But the fact that you're not doing it blindly and naively, and you're thinking, well, OK, but what impact could this have on me as a human being, says to me, Nellie's probably the right person and a kind of person I'd like to go and speak to. But I was going to make a really good point, and I forgot what it was. I can't remember what I was going to say. It was a really good point.
Sounds like he's the right person.
Yeah.
In the past, sort of like I used to work for a call centre. I used to work for HMRC on the telephones, and people were claiming tax credits and benefits like that. And they would give me sort of their situation where they needed money, and there was no way for me to give them money, and I would carry that with me. Yeah. At the end of the day, and it was nothing I can actually do for them. I really couldn't do anything for them, no matter what I wanted to do for them. Yeah. So I've got experience of that, and it wasn't very nice. It didn't happen very often. But if I'm putting myself into a role where that could be something that might happen, then it's just a bit of a worry. But
what I would suggest you need to make sure that you have what we call a support network around you. Now, whether that is someone that you work with, whether that is a good friend, whether that is phoning us up and sharing appropriate stuff that doesn't break any confidences and things like that, and you'd have to be very careful about that, of course, which you know. Whether phoning the Samaritans will be good, I don't know if you're in therapy, whether sharing that with a therapist will be good. You have to have in place that you will have some people that you can share this with, and also some way of switching off, whether that's meditation, whether it's a glass of wine at night, which works perfectly for some people, whether it's exercise, whether it's walking the dog, going for a swim.
If I were you, I'd also want to reassure myself that, again, I'm going back to this thing, are you the token mental health effort for the company, or will you have someone that you can go to and say, look, this is the problem with this person, how can we support them? And they help you to do something practical for people, because the last thing you want to do is you're the person that everyone offloads onto, and then unfortunately, frustratingly, nothing else happens.
Well, I think as it happened, the company itself is a big one. I think they've got there's thousands of people who work for the company, right. And they've had about, I think, a couple of hundred people showing interest in this role. So it looks like it's going to be a well-supported role, and there'll be a lot of people in my roles it would be. So I don't think it's going to be all on me. Okay. I'll probably be, just giving a little group to.
Nellie, can I do something I never normally do?
Oh, go on.
Can I tell you what to do?
You go for it, yeah.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. Go and do it. Put your name forward. I never tell people what to do, and you take it as you want. Take it or ignore it. I think you should go and do it. I think you should go and put your name on and say, "Yeah, I'm up for this, please."
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it.
Go on.
If you have another quick game of Dulux or Durex with me.
Yeah, go on then. Now, let's do it. This is what you name. You name a paint colour or a Johnny, and we have to guess.
Film star.
Or that's it. Or an adult film star. Paint colour and adult film star. All right, so we'll have a couple of rounds. So Iain versus Kath.
Okay.
Let's go. This is great.
I think I won last time, didn't I?
No. That doesn't count. Okay, away you go.
Okay, so we'll go for Amber Dawn.
Amber Dawn.
Porn star.
I'm going to say Dulux.
Porn star, well done.
Yes, mate. I know. Big fan. Okay, next. You can go first this one, Catherine.
Okay.
Couple more. Okay, I'll do a couple more. Rich Black.
Niche.
Dulux.
It is Dulux. Well done, Kath.
Okay, right. This is it. Go on. This is the decider. And if I get this right, you become a mental health key worker. If Catherine gets this right,
you become a painter and decorator,
and everyone just has to cry. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. Right. Okay. Havana Ginger.
That's a Durex.
Havana Ginger. No, that's Dulux.
Havana Ginger is a female porn star.
Mate, go and make those people happy. Give them a shoulder to cry on.
I'm going to say it now. That's not her real name.
I think I cannot think of someone better. I cannot think of many people better than you, Nellie, that I would like to come and share some problems with. So I really think if you're up for it, do it. But also, being realistic, and we have to go to the news in a second, give yourself like a time frame. And if after 3 months or whatever time you set, it's not working for you, say, be prepared to step back from it and say, do you know what? This is actually this is having a negative impact on my health. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You're very kind, both of you. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Nellie, thank you very much. Thank you. People like you are great. I would happily go and share my stuff with Nellie. Well done. Carol and Andy, stay there. We'll come to you in a bit. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Dogwood blossoms float against the ice-encrusted creek bank. A tender blade of new green grass is bravely pushing upward through the melting snow. The spring breeze ruffles through my hair and whispers softly everywhere, telling secrets in my eyes. Search the countryside for your hello. The seasons come, the seasons go. Lightning darts among the pines, caught in a summer rainstorm. Soaking wet, I look upon the new plowed earth with rivulets between each row. I almost feel you next to me, and it stirs a memory that hangs suspended with a sigh, and gently weaves its way through my bedroom window. The seasons come, seasons go. Seeds of grain lay scattered in a trail that leads to nowhere. The rustling leaves beneath my feet swirl in a colorful kaleidoscope. 1,000 spans of outstretched wings circle briefly hovering, then they swiftly fly away, leaving me to stay and face December snow. The seasons come, the seasons go. Ice encases blades of grass, encouraging the wind to pass. And in the frosty morning sun, a field of diamonds beckon, waving to and fro. I stare into the fire a while, think of you, my love, and smile, wishing you were here with me, sharing the security I know. The seasons come, the seasons go.
Here we go. Loving Bobby Gentry at the moment, guys. Loving Bobby Gentry. I mean, what a voice, what a lady. Great times. Let's just take it. Yes, line 2, you're on the wireless.
Oh, the wireless, crikey.
Oh, it's this guy who always sounds like he's up to something very, very naughty, wearing a velvet glove,
Ooh.
having a PW.
I beg your pardon?
A posh
PW.
one.
Just one moment. I need to turn the radio down. I wasn't expecting to go on air straight away.
This is how it happens sometimes. Sometimes this is how it happens.
Got Lawrence unawares.
Yes. He has to go to the East Wing.
Wearing leather slippers, you know it.
And that's all.
The nation awaits.
There
Sorry
we go.
about that.
That's all right, Lawrence. Nice to talk to you, mate. What you got for us tonight?
That's a nice song you're playing there. What's it called?
Bobby Gentry, Seasons Come, Seasons Go. Just heard it for the first time tonight. I love it.
Very sort of early Moody Blues.
I don't know that much about the Moody Blues. I know Go Now, which is like one of their early hits of Denny Lane, but then I know that very shortly after that they changed radically and became, I don't want to say proggy, but certainly became more sweeping in their music. But I don't know much about them. I don't know. What's the big album? Days of Future Past? Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Yes, I don't know
I did go through a phase. Didn't last very long, to be honest.
I think I'd like them if I got into them, but I just haven't found the time yet. I haven't found the time.
You have that kind of a mixture of music and poetry and a lot of imagery going on.
Nights in Wyatt Sutton.
There's that one, of course.
All having a posh wave at the sky. Lawrence, what can we do for you this evening?
Well, that was it, really.
The Moody Blues.
Say hello, and I'll for details of that song and
Bobby Gentry. I'm starting to get into Bobby Gentry a lot. I listened to a really good podcast about her. It's part of the Cocaine and Rhinestones podcast series. And there's an episode... I find them all a little bit dry, but there was a really nice one about Bobby Gentry, actually, which kind of gave her story, and I didn't know it, and I found that one really interesting. So I would recommend listening to that if you want to get a little bit of the old... the background in for Mazziano.
I'm rather partial to that sort of sound, from the late 60s of psychedelia. Kind of,
well, she's kind of sort of swampy and a bit. Oh, what was? She did an album with Glenn Campbell. What was the song I heard her singing with? Obviously, listen, hang on, listen to this. Listen to this is great. I mean, hang on. Oh, not this. This is an advert for banking. Yeah. Hang on, this is not great. This is the antithesis. Listen to this. This is great. Glenn Campbell and Bobby Gentry. Here we go.
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk.
What's interesting is she's singing the lower part. It's great.
That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch.
Yeah?
Do you know what that reminds me of?
Go on.
That song by Nielsen, Everybody's Talking At Me.
Everybody's talking at me.
Sort of,
Nielsen's biggest hit, and he didn't write it. But it's a similar vibe. They also did... they also had a big hit with... They had a big hit... Oh, hang on, let me try this one. Let me just try. Hang on, let me try. No, not this one. Listen to this. This is stunning. Listen to this. This is what it's all... This is what it's all about. This is what life's about. This is it. Listen.
I bless the day I found you. I want to stay around you, and so I beg you, let it be me.
Isn't it? That's what life's about. That has got everyone going by the Bobby Gentry and Glenn Campbell album. It's a masterpiece.
That's could be from the B-side of Bright Eyes.
Could be. Bright Eyes was a great song. What are you talking about, Lawrence?
It's the oboe, you see.
It's the oboe. All right, hey, listen, nice one, Lawrence. Thanks for calling, man.
Right, thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye. What a nice guy. I like Lawrence. Mysterious.
Smooth.
A lot of people, you kind of got an idea of what's going on. Lawrence got no idea, and I like it. Withheld number. Beautiful.
You know he's wearing a smoking jacket.
Yeah.
And a cravat.
And nothing else. Let's try Andy. Good evening, Andy.
Oh, hi, Ian and Catherine. I love your show.
Thank you.
I'm not a miserable person, but it does take quite a lot to make me laugh, and in a nice way, you make me laugh.
Thank you.
Can I just? You're very welcome. Can I just also say, I find you very engaging as a broadcaster.
Are you talking to me or Catherine?
Say again?
Wait, you talking to me or Catherine?
Both of you.
Oh, as a broadcaster, we have become one.
Broadcasters.
That's okay. Well, thank you, man. That means a lot.
I don't want to get too deep, but I think you're also a very strong person, and I'll give you an example. I called you just before Christmas, and I was unaware it was live to air.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I came on, and you just kindly said to me, "Oh, hi, Andy. How are you?" And I'd just lost my dad, and I broke down on air, and you were so genuinely sympathetic with me.
Yes, man.
You speak to so many people, if you can remember that.
I do. Do you know? I remember very little. I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that because we were having a little bit of fun, and you came on at a very vulnerable time. Yeah.
I just went. But just going back to you being a strong person, Ian, if you don't mind me saying, you've got an honesty that bears that out. You're just honest and open, and that makes you a strong person. And before I start bubbling again, I'd just like to say two things to say, if that's okay.
Yeah, go on.
My mum always said to me, nothing's ever as bad as you think it's going to be, and that's true.
Yeah.
My lovely dad used to say to me, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Just be careful it's not a freight train.
Jesus. Yeah.
So they balanced each other out, is what you're saying.
They do, yeah.
You're very kind. I'm not sure. I would suggest I'm a very weak person, but I appreciate your kind words. How are you doing? How are you doing now?
Yeah, it's kind of you. I'm doing okay now. It's been very, very difficult time. I was very close to my dad, but he was always a very, very funny man. Can I just tell you one little tale about him?
Please do. I'd love to know more about him. Go on.
He was in a residential rest home for the last 6 years, and he suffered with something called Korsakoff syndrome. Korsakoff syndrome, which meant that because of alcohol abuse, he'd only got like a 5-minute memory.
Aye.
And I was with him shortly after he arrived in the nursing home. I saw him whenever I could. I was working for an airline at the time, so I was away a lot. And one day I was there, in the first 6 weeks he'd been there, and a lady knocked on the door at 11 o'clock in the morning. My dad said, come in, and the lovely lady walked in, and she'd got a tea trolley with cakes and biscuits and coffee on.
You don't see tea trolleys anymore. You don't see a good old tea trolley with those big silver tea urns and the cakes and the... No. Oh, beautiful. Lovely.
And what's happened to the fondant fancies?
Oh, the fondant fancy. The finest of all the cakes seems to have disappeared. Kids these days, they're too busy smoking crack.
Yeah.
They still do, and they're just a lot smaller.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they are. Personally, I haven't seen the Gypsy Cream for about 20 years.
Can't call them Gypsy Creams anymore. They're Travellers Creams.
Oh, Travellers. Sorry, I fell into that one, didn't I?
Yes, they're Travellers Creams. Anyway, yes, go on. So, this lady, I'm assuming it's a lady bringing around a tea trolley, yeah?
So, she said to my father, Richard, would you like a cup of coffee? He said, oh, yeah, that'd be lovely, thank you. And he said to me, to the lady, would you like to get my son one as well? And I said, no, Dad, I'm okay, thanks. So then she said, would you like some biscuits, Richard? Would you like some digestive biscuits, which were his favourite? So he had his coffee and his digestive biscuits. He thanked her, and she left. And when she shut the door, he turned to me and he said, Andrew, I just can't believe that. They've brought me coffee and biscuits. How nice is that?
Oh.
So, well, when I was leaving, I went to find the lady with the tea trolley, and I told her that. And she said, he has his coffee and biscuits every day at 11 o'clock.
Oh, and he didn't remember. But that, do you know what? That's kind of magic, isn't it?
Yes, it is magic. And
that simple pleasure is new and fresh every single day at 11 o'clock.
And she knows exactly what he likes.
Yeah. Oh, that's
exactly
magic.
Right. And not on a maudlin note, but the funeral director told me that when my dad was taken to the place of rest, the nursing care and the residential care people and the care workers formed a guard of honour for him. And beautiful. It was just, yes, it
That's
is.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
aren't there nice people out there?
Oh, there's some great... And do you know what? For what they're paid...
Yeah. Oh God, they get it's ridiculous. The work that carers in care homes and those that visit people in their home, it's shocking how little we give them. It's a crime.
Yeah. My grandma's carers came to the funeral, and they were as upset as we were.
Yeah.
Catherine, same. It's just lovely. I'm sorry, I haven't got any really amusing anecdotes.
No, you have. What you've got is a really charming human anecdote, which I feel privileged that you shared a little bit of your dad with us tonight, Andy. So thank you, man.
Well, you were lovely to me, and thank you very much, Ian.
Okay, take care, brother. I appreciate that. I meant to say this the other day. Do you remember before Christmas, we had a guy, David, call up, whose wife, Sarah, but spelt Sarah, had died that day.
Yes.
She died that
and
day.
Had a little girl.
Little girl called Freya. And it was incredible. It was incredible. He sent me this a while ago, but I wasn't feeling great. He sent me this on the 3rd. And he'd heard that I wasn't feeling great. And he sent me, and I watched it. And he said, let me read this out. Because I gave him my phone number. Hi, Ian, you gave me your number before Christmas. I called your show the day my wife Sarah died, aged 34, leaving me with my daughter Freya. I'm really sorry to intrude, but I wanted to share this with you. It's my introduction at Sarah's celebration of life ceremony. What great. You know, terribly sad, tragic thing. But what a great title, A Ceremony of Life, Celebration of Life. I've been catching up on the pods, and he's been having an afternoon. If I can do anything, let me know. And he sent me this 6.5-minute video of him, someone's filmed on their mobile phone, of him holding Freya.
Oh.
And she's obviously jiggling about. I think she's like 2 or something, isn't she? 3 probably. You know, so he has to put her down, and he does this lovely introduction that they're going to have a celebration of his wife's, who's passed away, life, and he does like a little speech, and he says, look, we're going to play music, and we've got some food and stuff. If at any point someone wants to come up, oh, you're welling up, sorry, look. If at any point anyone wants to come up, we're just going to dip the music, you just say a few words, and there's no pressure, and if you don't do it, that's cool, but this is an opportunity just to say what we loved about her. Whoa, flipping heck. I'd never heard of anything like that. I've been to wakes. This is not a wake. And this is something very, very special. But, what was special about it for me was that he had shared it to me. And do you know what? I've not got back to him, and I will get back to him tomorrow because I've not been feeling great. But that he shared it with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. There was 20% of me that thought maybe that call was not a genuine call. I questioned it.
Only because what are the odds that someone would ring us first?
Yeah.
Before everyone else.
And I did question it, and of course I feel terrible for questioning it. So I'm going to send David a little text tomorrow.
Do.
But I thought that was lovely for him to share.
That just reminded me of my friend Nikki. She lost her husband. He had a very rare form of brain cancer, and she had this celebration of life, and with a funeral involved in the woods, and everyone brought a picnic.
Yeah.
And when they told me about it, I thought, oh God, this is a bit hippy-dippy.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, right? And once the funeral part of it was over, and it was a humanist ceremony, so there was there was no praying or anything like that. It was all stories bringing him to life, really, different aspects of him. Stories from when he was a kid, stories from work. He was a Radio 4 announcer. And so there were some quite famous people there telling stories about him and stuff, and what a professional he was, but how funny he was, and that's what came across. And also the fact that they were just that kind of couple that makes everyone else feel like the ideal is possible. You know, they were best friends, and it was just such a sad, sad thing. But their children were there. And at the end of the ceremony, they said, you know what, the best thing you could do for us as a family, because I know everyone wants to do something. Can you play rounders with the kids?
Oh, yes,
everyone sat
mate.
around till it went dark. They played with the kids. The kids knew that they were being looked after by everyone there. There must have been about 200 people there. And the kids didn't sit down the whole time.
Beautiful.
It was the most glorious thing. I didn't know him, but I wished I had.
Yeah. Death's going to happen to all of us, right? And something like that is a beautiful way to kind of end it for the people that are still alive. I phoned up. We talked about Dennis from Dunstable. I will come to you in a minute, Carol, I promise. After the break, phone up Dennis from Dunstable, who passed away, 95, I think, 96, can't remember.
We thought he'd gone quiet.
Yeah, and I phoned up his grandson today, Simon, and a grandson probably the same age as me, a bit younger actually. And I had a chat with him and just said, I just wanted to say, me and Kath, you're aware your granddad used to call us a lot, and I just want to say he was a gentleman, and I shared a couple of funny stories with him that he may not have been aware of. And
you tell him about when we took him to see that dirty film?
Of course I did. It was hilarious. And we had a good old laugh about Dennis. And here's the thing that he was falling over quite a bit, and he was in. The last month or so, he was in a hospice, and I was thinking, oh, shit.
I wish I'd have known.
Shit. I should have chased it up, and we didn't follow our instinct of chasing it up. We just assumed that we passed away, and I was thinking, shit. Should have gone and sat with him for an hour. Should have done it, and I was so annoyed. Anyway, you can't build your life on shoulds and would-haves and stuff like that. But the funeral's, I think, probably going to be about 3 weeks' time. I've said to him, look, if there's room, me and Kath, and I haven't got the kids, me and Kath would love to come. So I'm sure that would be cool. I suspect Justin will come along as well. I'm sure Justin will come, looking like a geezer. It's something outrageous. But it was nice to speak to Simon and his grandson, and just chat for 10 minutes about his granddad, and what a nice person he was. And I guess that's the best we can hope for. If when we die, if some people share some nice stories about us. That's it,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's immortality.
The thing that really breaks my heart at the moment, there's been quite a few stories about sort of ex-servicemen in particular, but older people who've died in care homes on their own, and they kind of put a call out, don't they, and say, can anyone come to the funeral? And they get loads of people because there are some brilliant, kind people out there. But it just feels like such a shame that he didn't get a couple of people going to see him when he was alive, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, such is life. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Paul Ross is on at 1. Let's go to Carol. Good evening, Carol.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Hi,
Carol.
Ian.
Good
Missed
evening.
you last Friday.
Oh, well.
Nice to hear you back.
Nice to have a Kath
Thanks a bunch, mate.
solo show. Always good to have a Kath solo show, although I cannot listen for political reasons.
Well, you're probably doing something way more exciting.
No, it's because he's got it in for me and he's trying to undo me from the inside out.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, that's weird, isn't it?
That's a weird...
She told us she was the boss.
Yeah, totally the
No,
boss.
that's bollocks.
She said, I'm the producer.
She's the producer, but, I mean, it's a meaningless title on a show that requires no production.
You say that.
Well, I say it because it's true.
All right, then.
So
You can write the next Ofcom.
Sure, fine. I'll just tell them to get lost. Anyway, Carol, I don't want to know what happened on Catherine's watch.
Well, I just thought you might like to know how
No, not interested.
splendidly she
Not interested. It
coped.
means it's meaningless to me. It's pointless. It's meaningless. You might as well tell me what how an onion grows. It's got no interest in either.
Wow.
Got no interest. It means meaningless to me.
Well, I was just going to say how much I've enjoyed the show tonight.
Well, that'll be £5, please. It'll be £5.
And how nice it was to hear about the man with the kitty and
Kitty?
my kitty's just had surgery. She had to have her eye removed.
Oh no! Did she get a glass eye? What had she seen? Has she got glass eye? Do cats get glass eyes?
She's turned into a pirate.
Oy. Did you keep the eye?
One of them little
Did you keep the eye?
Because
hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Did you keep the eye?
No, the vets kept it.
Well, that's outrageous.
It got infected. And
I demand a
grown.
discount on the fee because they're getting free eyes.
Honestly, £600 altogether.
Well, this is why everyone, you got pets. You should have pet insurance.
Well, the problem I had is she was a rescue cat,
Right.
and she was too old. Because after they're 9, you can't get insurance, and if you adopt a senior cat, then you can't take out an insurance.
Yes, you can.
How old's Velvet?
Velvet's 20 and she's got insurance.
Have you had her for a long time?
Oh, yeah, I've
or-
had her since she was 2, but you can get insurance for older cats. You go on the comparison
Not if
websites.
Not if they're over 9 years old.
I would dispute that, but you obviously have more. I'm not that
that's
bothered.
what-
I'm going to get into an argument about it.
That's what I've just thought. Well, there's that many exclusions and everything, but
So hang on, what? So you didn't actually check? You just thought it?
no, I did try and sort it out because I've had her for 7 years, and I did try and.
Well, you
get
can't.
her
Here's the thing: you can't get insurance when you know they're ill and you're about to take them in for an operation. You've got to have the insurance because they're wise to that. Those insurance companies. Oh, you want to pay? You want to pay £6 a month? Sure. Oh, hang on. The next day you're putting in a bill for £600. What a coincidence!
Yeah.
You got to get it sorted out before. So hang on. How long? What age did you get the cat?
I got 2 together. Millie was 4,
Right.
and she's 11 now.
Right. Is that the one with the eye?
Yeah.
Right, well, hang on a minute. So the whole last 5 minutes of the conversation is irrelevant. You could have got insurance for her.
But I couldn't insure Pepper, who was 8, and I thought, I can't insure one cat and then not the
Well,
other.
hang on, but Pat, you said you couldn't insure a cat that was over 9.
Yeah,
Pepper
she
was
was
8.
That's because Pepper was nearly 9.
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? You can lie about cats' ages. Who's going to ask them? And also, you didn't insure the younger one because you thought it would be unfair on the older one. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you got to treat them the same. It's like
No, you got to treat them
children,
mean,
you
keep them
can't-
keen. Oh no, that's not cats. Well, actually, it is to a certain extent. No, of course you don't. Not when it comes to insurance, because that can cost you. Well, it's just cost you £600.
Yeah, but my vet's lovely, and he lets me pay it off in chunks when I get my benefit money
cat
in.
chunks.
So yeah, cat chunks.
There we
And I put her a tray down, and she hadn't used it for years, and she hopped straight in.
They know exactly where to take a dump on that lovely litter. I woke up the other day. I'm going to talk. I woke up the other day, and I've been sleepwalking, and I was taking a dump in the litter tray.
Did you cover it over afterwards?
Yes, I did. Well, I got most of it on the floor.
Oh. So do they.
There we go.
But also, to all the people who are not feeling too good.
Cheer up! Come on, pull your socks up. Get on with it. Lighten up, you miserable bunch.
It's a tiny year. We're trudging through February. We need some snowdrops popping up and crocus and everything to cheer everybody up. So it's that seasonally affected disorder with the
For some people it is.
For some people, people have died. So
seasonal affective death.
A couple of tulips aren't going to help that.
Well, also, one last thing, I've nearly forgot.
I wish you would.
Because
Forget
I
our
can't
number.
Shut up. I thought I'll do a tape recording for my funeral of my own urology. Is it?
Urology, mate.
About how nice
Urology?
you are at-
Mate, I would pay top dollar to listen to that, to your own urology for your funeral.
Well, you can come if you want. So I'll probably snuff it before you anyway.
No, well, yeah, I would think so. You're like about 40 years older than me.
Well, I'm only 61.
Yeah, 40 years older than me.
I thought you said you were 40.
That's my showbiz age. My real age is 21.
Yeah, he says it's the older, so he gets taken seriously.
Yeah.
You were older than that when I saw you.
That was makeup. Heavy makeup.
Well, you were so high up I could hardly see you anyway.
Okay, I'm losing the will to live. All right, Carol.
I know, I'm not surprised.
Okay, thanks for your call.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm totally going to read your urology. Will you read mine?
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Will you read mine?
I'll read your urology, of course I will. With pleasure.
Don't say Kath was a dick. You're not allowed to say that, or I'll horn you.
Can you clip that for me, please, Sam? Thank you. Just just clip it to me and send it over, and I'll do something good with that. I'll play it a lot.
He's going to put that in my headstone.
In your headstone?
Yeah.
I'll put it in your
By
headstone.
then he'll be talking.
I'll put it in your headstone.
So when people go past, it'll trigger.
Kath was a dick. Kath was a dick. Don't stop and look at this one. Kath was a dick. Don't stop and look at this one.
Dick.
Kath was a
dick.
Kath was
dirty pervert.
Don't be so silly, Kath.
I think I might need it sooner. Aren't your balls normally held back by your willy?
Catherine, you're such a twat.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty pervert.
No, that's the wrong answer.
I once laughed till I threw up, and I think I nearly went there again.
I'll tell you what I've not had for a long time.
Go on.
Milk coming through my nose.
Oh, gosh.
When you drink milk and someone says something really funny and you snort and it comes out through your nose, it's delicious.
Oh, that'd be disgusting.
It is the best.
Milk over snot?
Yes, man. It's like a milkshake.
Oh.
A bogey shake. Have you never had that? You drink your milk and someone, just as that moment, just as it's hitting the back of your throat, cold, fresh milk, and someone says, yeah, and it looked like a mushroom.
No,
it comes out the
that's
nose.
a pretty specific scenario. I'm not managed.
I'm not quite sure what the funny line would be. The lines are empty. We're going to take calls straight to air for the end of the show. Please stop coughing. We'll wait until you stop coughing.
Dick. Don't. You trying to end me on air?
I like mine quite hard, and then I like to put it all in my mouth at once.
Milk comes out.
Ugh.
You finished?
Yeah.
Sure, let's wait.
I've stopped coughing and my ovaries have shriveled. What more do you want?
Oh, we'll try one. Let me try.
What are you doing? What? That's abuse.
Sorry, I apologise.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Call straight to air for the last 20 minutes. Who cares? Really? I mean, come on, guys. This is the thing. This is free. Everyone moaning. That drunk woman who keeps setting up different Twitter accounts just to slag off the show. Here's the thing. It's free, which means you can afford to buy more booze. For crying out loud. It's nuts,
I have to resist tweeting her back and say, sorry, did we charge you?
She keeps setting up, like, different... Read out this stream in
one
the
to
order
me?
that it was set.
Oh, I haven't looked at her stream.
Oh, go to the stream. It's insane. And do it from the bottom up. It's insane. This is like her third or fourth Twitter account. She phoned up the show a couple of times. I think her name was Julie. And she got upset. She was the one who slagged me off and said that if I went to one of her AA meetings, she would pour tea over my head and call
roasted.
me out. I'd get roasted. Because that's what happens at 12-step meetings, guys. It's like a battlefield.
Judgment all the way.
She got upset because she started because she phoned up right towards the end of a show once and then was telling a really boring, long, dull story. And I kind of let her get away with it as much as and I'd say, OK, look, well, we've got to end it there because Paul Ross is in. And that guy's a maniac. And she hates me. Have you got her Twitter feed?
I'm trying to find... It's got a lot of numbers, so it's
Come
hard
on, no, don't just click on one of her tweets.
I can't. Because she's not atting me. She's just going off.
Find it.
I am finding it.
Just type in Iain Lee.
It's not. She's not atting anyone. She's just
No,
going off by
but she
herself.
mentions my name, so you type in Iain Lee in search and NA or something like that. Hello, line one.
Is it Ghostbusters 2?
Yes, it is.
Yes!
For the first
Yay!
time. For the first time in 15 years. Please hurry up.
I've got it. Right.
Right, go from the bottom up.
Everyone shut up now.
Okay. All right, let's get some dramatic
Wow.
music. Hang on a minute. Let's get some dramatic music. Here we go. This is the best dramatic music ever. Oh, it's an advert for...
Right, okay. So 6 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 56 minutes, 49 minutes. All right, so she's been busy tonight.
She's busy. Jules, you want to give us a call? You'd be very welcome to. Call straight to air 0344 499 1000.
6 hours ago. Tuned in to last night's show with Iain Lee and Kath. God, train wreck! 3 exclamation marks. It's usually cringeworthy listening to this mad fella's shouty ramblings, but seriously, get a sponsor, fella.
I've got 2.
2 hours later, he'll probably hate me now, but know what? Who cares? The man should look at his ego. You're doing it wrong, fella? Question mark.
I don't hate you. I love you. And I wish you joy.
4 hours. Get with the true programme, fella? Question mark. You present yourself as a complete lost person. Would love to assist, but sorry, I don't really like you. Bless. Someone else might like you. Kiss.
I am lost, and I would not want you to find me.
Yeah, well, question mark. Had my moan about stuff, exclamation mark. Here's me relaxing on my couch. Fluffy slippers on, Netflix movie about to start. Not too shabby for me.
What does a Netflix movie about to start mean? You press play and it starts. Yeah. It's not about to start. It's not sat there going, what time does this Netflix movie start?
Maybe she doesn't realise you have to press play. She's been there a while.
Yes, man.
Okay, 2 hours. Tonight's show is bloody worse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exclamation marks.
You're going to wear them out.
Iain needs therapy, question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Okay. What a worry this fella is, question mark. Next, just to note, capital letters, quieten yourself, shouty fella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think about 6 exclamation marks. You're so annoying on the radio. Too loud. I have to adjust my volume. You, and she called you a TWAT.
Oh.
Nan. Irk. Question mark. Irk. Don't even go trying to bring your show into something that any listener fiddling with their dial on their radio would tune into this programme. Nobody would listen to Iain Lee.
She listens every single night.
Next one. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Iain.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Iain.
And then,
what
Iain,
colour was he?
You ignorant, uneducated buffoon.
I beg your pardon, how rude.
Read this out and let people respond without you interrupting. You rude, bad-mannered little tyke, question mark.
Speak
about Iain callers. Do you like him? 1 hour ago. Gold!
Jules, call in, man. 0344 499 1000. Let's make peace. I love you. I love you as a human being.
Well, wait for this one. How much more disappointing shite? Her spelling is extra. Do we have to endure from Iain Lee? His show is really crap.
Here's the thing. You don't have to endure any of it because you can turn off and would you like a refund? Oh no, you didn't pay anything.
Here we go.
Didn't cost you anything. It was free.
It's a message to me.
Imagine setting up a Twitter. All the Twitter account is this. Imagine setting up a Twitter account to just slag off something that you don't have to listen to and is free.
Warning from me though. His counterpart / co-presenter Kath, but beware, he'll turn on you soon. He already started it last night, annoyed that you had a cough, a small thing, but big for Ian, so you were listening.
That cough was annoying.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
That cough was really annoying.
I wonder if she'll be listening now.
Of course she is. She's loving it.
We've been working together for 5 years.
Unless that Netflix movie is about to start.
It's a long film. We've been working together for 5 years. I don't think a cough's going to do it.
Feels like longer.
Iain Lee talks over you, very rude. I bet he doesn't get that much attention at his AA or narcotics meetings. They wouldn't put up with his ego shite. Then, 53 minutes ago, shame for everyone, I'm off to bed now. Just listen to real news on LBC. Iain Lee is entertaining, of course, but ha ha ha.
She won. She got us. She got us. She beat us. Jules, who's I think using the name Mags or something now.
Magdalene.
She beat us, man. I don't believe it. She beat us. I do love it.
We've been spanked.
I've deleted my Twitter again. Again, probably temporary. And as I said, my mate Scott, if he wants it, he's going to have it for the next few days until he gets his Twitter feed back. So you may see it slightly rebranded tomorrow. Do send him love and stuff. But it's funny the amount of tweets and stuff you get and emails and things from people who hate the show and listen to the show critiquing and criticising. Do they mean the same thing?
Yeah, but one's French.
Critiquing and criticising the show in great detail. Who's that idiot who I don't like? Has lesbians having sex on the radio. Howard Stern says, people that like his show listen for an hour. The people that dislike it listen for 2 hours. And I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with that. As long as it's getting a reaction, as long as it's getting some kind of reaction out of you. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we want is a reaction. Some kind of reaction out of you. I hate you all. Scumbags. You do not deserve this show. The show is too good for you. You are arseholes. You're going to block every single one of you. You disgust me. And the people listen to the show, and it really is very, 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 very peculiar, but wonderful. I love it. Call straight to this is Talk Radio. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Call straight to air. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're very, very welcome to. Listen, we haven't done any news stories. Let's do a news story, shall we, until people call in. Banned adverts that said fry-ups can beat diabetes. Got to be so careful when you advertise these days.
Well, it's health claims, isn't it?
Well, any advertisement, stuff that we advertise, the TV and stuff like that. There's a thing called the ASA, the Advertising Standards Authority, and if you basically say stuff that is not true, you get busted. I think they're a slightly toothless tiger. I don't think they have the ability to impose fines or anything like that, but they can certainly bring to attention. And it becomes more difficult with TV and radio. It's easier to kind of pull them. Online, it's the Wild West out there. It's pretty much anything goes. You've got to be careful. This is interesting. A high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet plan was condemned by watchdogs yesterday. Adverts for the Simple as Fat diet claim the plan can help with weight loss. It was also claimed the high-fat plan could help reverse type 2 diabetes. Advertising watchdogs said the plan's recommendations contradict NHS advice. A diet plan based on eating high-fat food was condemned by watchdogs yesterday. Adverts for the Simple as Fat diet claim fry-ups and pork scratchings.
God, really?
Diet fry-ups and pork scratchings can help weight loss. Well, yeah, if all you're eating is one pork scratching a day, I don't mind a pork scratching, although once I had a nipple.
Disgusting. They've got hair in.
It can help weight loss, reverse both type 2 diabetes and erectile dysfunction.
What?
The diet, which also limits carbohydrates, is promoted by, the radio host, it should be X, John Gaunt. The 57-year-old claims he lost 5 stone with the plan. However, the Advertising Standards Authority has ruled Gaunt offered no independent evidence to show the diet worked.
Oh dear.
It said its recommendations contradicted NHS advice. Gaunt has promoted the plan, which costs £99 a year, on his website and social media. One promotional tweet read, Do not eat cereal. Do not eat cereals. Eat the breakfast of champions. 2 fried eggs.
2?
2 rashers of local butcher-bought bacon. Whole fried tomato. Black coffee with double cream. Well, that's not a black coffee. That's a white coffee.
That's a creamy coffee.
Feel satisfied.
Well, hang on a minute. I would be eating more fat than I eat normally.
Feel satisfied but not stuffed, and you won't need to eat till tea time. Another suggested that pork scratchings were a healthier snack than crisps. One short video carried the text, Welcome to Simple as Fat. Discover how John Gaunt lost 70 pounds, reversed his type 2 diabetes and turned his life around while eating real food and never feeling hungry. In its ruling, the ASA said industry codes state any claim for a weight reduction method must be backed by rigorous trials. Personal testimonials do not count. It added, because we'd not seen evidence that Simple as Fat's diet plan could result in weight loss, we concluded the ads breached the code in that regard. We concluded the ads also discouraged essential treatment for conditions for which medical supervision should be sought. It pointed to NHS advice saying foods high in saturated fat, such as butter and meat, could raise cholesterol and increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Flippin' heck.
But I suppose if you have a stroke or a heart attack, you won't have diabetes anymore, technically.
The watchdog told Gaunt's companies not to claim their diet plan was a treatment for obesity or other conditions. Gaunt said the diet was in line with new thinking that sugar and carbs are worse than fat. We all know that sugar is bad for you.
Yeah.
The sugar is kind of the tobacco of the 21st century.
Haven't carbs come back under the spotlight suggesting you do need a certain amount of...
I don't know. I don't know, because the advice keeps changing.
It does keep
changing. And I don't know, which is why I would go and see... I would go and talk to a medical man. What do they call a doctor?
Or a nutritionist.
Yeah, I would go and speak to an expert, not not a podcaster. Unless they were an expert. I'd go and speak to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Not a gobshite. He received some backing for his claims from Asim Malhotra, an NHS cardiologist, who said a low-carbohydrate dietary pattern such as one promoted by John Gaunt is not only safe and effective at reducing weight, here we go, and managing diabetes, but is far superior to traditional low-fat approaches. Gaunt was sacked by TalkSport Radio in 2008 after he described a Tory councillor as a health Nazi and an ignorant pig. He now produces podcasts from home as well as selling the Simple as Fat plan. We'll all be there one day. We will all be there one day. That means in about 2031, you can look forward to the Iain Lee weight loss plan. Simple as that.
I'm just looking at the website, the Twitter account.
Yeah.
Defiant. Despite what busybodies say...
Busybody.
Experts, you mean. Hashtag type 2 diabetes can be reversed with low carbs.
Okay, wow, he's doubling down.
But no mention of pork scratching. So.
He's doubling down.
Isn't it a shame, though, eh?
Yeah. It is a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. The hand of friendship been offered many, many times and slaps back. And it is a shame. It's a shame. I used to love listening to his shows back in the day, but... there you go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We never got to do this. I mean, it always feels a little bit... Because I heard everyone else... Oh, no, there's a call here. Hello, line 1, you're on the wireless.
Do you want to come back to my place, bouncy?
Actually, I'm going to pass, but I will keep your number on record if that's okay. Everyone else was doing this, so it always feels like we're getting it a day and a half after everyone else. But the best radio show of all time. So is it the BBC that's done this?
Yeah, Radio Times, isn't it?
Classic radio show, which allows it's Radio Times. They come up with the top 30 radio programmes all the time, but they're all BBC programmes. They're all I think national BBC as well. So there's no local programmes in there, and there's certainly no commercial radio, which seems a little bit pointless. And I know as well that in terms of the radio awards, there's now 2 awards. There's the Arias, which used to be the Sonys, but Bauer, is it Bauer? One of the groups...
They do their own, don't they?
They do their own.
And the BBC has its own.
The BBC has its own, but as well as being part of the Arias. It's very strange. Anyway, so let's go through this. Number 30, Private Passions, Radio 3. I don't know it. Hang on, the 30 best radio programmes of all time were whittled down by a panel of 46 industry experts. Well, where was my phone call, guys? Maybe it's because I've deleted my email. That would be. I make some off Twitter. They did. They wanted to reach me. They couldn't. Including Radio 2 presenter Sarah Cox. Radio 4 programmes dominated the list with 8 shows in the top 10. Wake Up to Wogan, which ran for over 25 years, was the only Radio 2 programme acknowledged. There was one local radio programme. The Nick Coffer Show on BBC Three Counties Radio came in at number 18. Fantastic. Desert Island Discs producer Kathy Drysdale said it was wonderful that Desert Island Discs topped the list. There was a second one at number 9. It's the Roberto Perrone Show is in there. There's a third, number 3 from BBC Three Counties Radio. It's the Black and Asian Show. The Goon Show's number 21. Come This Way. I've really tried with the Goons because I like Sellers, I like Milligan. Always put off by what was his name? Seek. Always put off by Seeking just because of Highway.
Because of Highway.
No, because I grew up watching Highway, and Highway was like Sunday at 5:45.
But he did play Mr. Pickwick. If I ruled the world.
Well, now I know that. Now I know he was a brilliant, singer and musician, singer and actor and Broadway and the West End.
He used to do a musical act, which basically he came on and shaved and pulled funny faces and used the audience as a mirror, and he would sustain that. And Peter Sellers said it was the most laughs you got from the tiniest routine you'd ever seen.
Oh, that's like a Kaufman thing. That's beautiful.
And towards the end, he would take his shirt off and attempt and just begin to shave his armpits, and they bring the curtains across.
Oh, that is
gotta love the man for that.
Right. But I've tried with the Goon Show. I just think maybe it's just sort of one shift of a generation too far away from me. I just can't.
Did you like Round the Horn?
Often.
I was listening I listen to 4 Extra quite a lot, and they play a lot of old comedies. And I was listening to one today, and I thought, this is from the 50s. It's from the 80s. It was I can't think of it. It's very old-fashioned.
Because I've got a couple. I can bring them in for you if you like, because I'm never going to play them. I've got a couple of Round the Horn albums.
Oh.
And what's interesting is they're cartoon fronts, and they've got Hugh Paddick and Kenneth Williams and Kenneth Horne and all the great stars in it. But they credit on the front as caricatures, and they wouldn't have been known then. Barry Cryer and Marty Feldman, who wrote a lot of them. And that's quite a generous thing to do back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Good old Marty
I liked
Feldman.
how they always introduced Betty Marsden like a fella. Betty Marsden.
And Kenneth Horne's real job was an estate agent.
Really?
And he was an estate agent, made a lot of money in the home counties. It's awfully personable and club, like an old retired colonel. And he turned up and did the radio show. Never really did stand-up or anything else. He was an estate agent.
I'll tell you what I really like a lot. And
had much finding in the marsh.
Is it... I'm sorry, I'll read that again.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
We played a clip of it probably a couple of months ago, where they were doing the songs of Petula Clark, but they just bleeped out certain words, so it sounded filthy.
I will never go bleep.
Yeah, it was so funny, man. It really made me laugh. Anyway, Paul Ross,
Good morning.
What's on your show tonight?
On the show tonight, we are crossing live to Mexico at the top of the hour because, of course, El Chapo has been found guilty. Remarkable story, this. The trial's been running 11 weeks. They're so worried about him escaping or being got out of prison that they were closing the Brooklyn Bridge for the course of the trial as he was taken from his jail to the courthouse. He escaped from prison once. He had a tunnel dug, possibly with the collusion of guards in Mexico, to under his shower in his cell, who has a shower. At the bottom of this mile-long tunnel, as it came, was a motorbike waiting for him. And he's said to have bribed one of the Mexican presidents with $100 million.
Wasn't there, in this particular case, there was wrangling over, he wanted his wife to be able to embrace him or something, and people were worried that he was going to, give her a message.
Although he did escape from one scene of a possible arrest in the nuddy with his mistress. So whether the wife would have had kind words for him, we do not know. So live to Mexico for that. And also, sometimes you do an item, you meet somebody, you read a book, and you think, everything I know is wrong.
Yeah.
I confidently thought that chewing gum was a gift of the Americas to the Western world. The conquistadors brought back chiclet and this chewing gum, resin, and that was it. Okay, we've got a guest on tonight, who says, no, you're an idiot, Ross, and he proves it.
Wow.
Chewing gum is 6,000 years old and was first developed in Finland. The book's great. It's called Plato's Alarm Clock, and it looks at ancient versions of modern inventions, including Archimedes' death ray from 2,500 years ago.
And yet you don't believe that we may have come from Mars a million years ago and lost some of the technology, and now you're hearing about Archimedes' death ray.
Have you heard of Damascus steel?
No.
Hardest form of steel ever invented by humankind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when?
Rarely needed sharpening.
Yep.
We lost the technology in the 17th century. We've got examples
you know
of
what it's
steel.
called?
Well, they've named it that because they think it came from the Saracens, but it predates it. It goes back about 300 BC.
Yeah, but we know about it, so where's the spaceship?
What about the Babylonian batteries that have gone missing?
Well, exactly.
But we know about them.
And this is yeah. But
we know what they're called.
Where did Mars bars come from apart from Slough?
I grew up in Slough, and if the wind was blowing in the right direction in the school playground, you could smell the Mars bars.
And if the wind was blowing the other direction, it was the Mars workers I felt sorry for from your school.
Exactly. Paul, thank you very much. Paul will be on at 1 o'clock, as per usual. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Sam. Thank you to, I'm going to say, 8 out of 10 of the callers tonight.
Yeah. But not the ones who thought that technology comes from Mars.
What? Okay, you see what you've done there. Well, I'm going to lodge that, and in about 10 years' time, I'm going to get drunk again and pull you up on it. Don't forget, podcasts are plenty, dear listener. There's the best of. We'll put out Jay tomorrow as a podcast as well, and his Beatles request. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And we can get the rabbit hole as well if you go to iTunes or Acast and type in Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle. These things pop up. We will be back tonight at 10. We haven't got any guests tonight, have we? We've got guests on Thursday. Stephen Tobolowsky we've got on Thursday. Stay tuned, though. This is Talk Radio. Paul Ross is coming up after the news.